Now introducing, from the podcast that hates NFTs, the brand new insert title here, NFTs. That's right, we caved in. We put the money forward and now you can reap the benefits. That's right, the ITH NFT. Oh, wait, what? It fell by 92%. So we decided to cancel the entire project. And now we've just lost all that money. And now I'm whispering everything that you're telling me into the mic and I sound like an absolute jackass. Oh. Welcome to Insert Title. My name is Devon Vauviot. I am the voice actor guy. With us today are my good pals of always and forever, Xander Mogus, a Mr. Musician Man, and my other pal, Technical Cake Mix, who does the YouTube things. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I can't hear
Editor's note, Mr. Mogus, please fucking line up your audio recording now, because you didn't actually hit record at the beginning.
You
I fixed it. We're
fucking bellend.
We're good.
How many episodes is this?
Fucking whatever. So instead of for those at home who are wondering how the fucking the turkey is put through the litter box, fucking what we like to do is do a clap in, so that way we can do like a sync track, because we're all not on the same place, as much as I try to make it sound like. And fucking this time, instead of hitting the record button before the clap in, what I did was I disarmed the track that I had armed to record instead, because I'm currently engaging in a final boss battle in a video game instead of paying full attention to my obligations as a host of a show. Hi,
That's
I'm
right. He puts about half as much effort into this as he does everything else.
That's not fair to say.
Yeah.
That's not fair to say. Xander does most of the actual audio work on this podcast.
Hey, I've heard his music. I can judge.
It's good. What are you trying to imply?
I'm being
Devon,
mean for no reason.
Okay.
Devon, does he go to your
So
job
you-
and unplug the Slurpee machine? Lay off.
So criticize my work on the podcast all you want, because it is literally me going, oh, okay, so this worked on episode 14 the best? All right, so I'm just going to keep using the same settings that I use on episode 14 over and over and kind of adjust it sometimes. But fucking, the music's different. I care about that.
Oh, God. So, anyway, hi, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend, a great Mother's Day if you celebrate it, and a terrible one if you hate it. I don't know where I'm going with that one, but whatever.
I think you would want them to have a great day, not a terrible Mother's Day if they don't celebrate. You know what I mean?
And if you're British, it was 2 months ago. So, hey.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
British people aren't people.
Yeah.
I forgot that. Sorry,
Anyway.
Xander.
Speaking of Britain, did you hear about the historic victory in Northern Ireland?
Oh yeah, the was it Sinfied? I was reading it earlier actually. Is it they're just shy of a majority, so they've still got to form a coalition, but they have like 99% of the seats they need. Like, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely something. So obviously I know the whole political position and like all the whole mix up for like the United Ireland thing is like a lot more complex than we have any time to get into.
Yeah.
But the thing that I did find the most funny as a result of them winning that election was the screenshot of Star Trek: The Next Generation, where is like the Irish unification of 2024.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Sinfied is literally a party born both out of Irish Republicans and Social Democrats. So anything is possible. Anything is possible when everyone agrees to hate the same people together.
It's true.
By those people, I mean the English. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No one's sorry.
Well, I mean, I think this is the one case you can use the term "these people" to refer to a group of people, and it's not offensive.
Yeah. And we I'm not going to get on it because it's a long, winding topic, and we have more important things, and by more important things, I mean Bionicles to talk about. But like, the history of England and Ireland is a whole fucking mess. I recommend reading into it if you're interested and have a few hours spare. Just know that the English political field is basically defined by what your opinion of Oliver Cromwell is. And,
and I feel like the most basic thing to understand as someone who isn't like from that region and kind of wants a general idea of what's going on is to understand the idea that in order for Northern Ireland to rejoin the main Ireland as one united Ireland, it has to be a majority of people within Northern Ireland who want to return. And that's the basic, like, what needs to happen, and that's the prerequisite before that even, like, starts. So there's a legal way for them to go through it, and there is, like, they can hold referendums and all that, but it has to be a majority.
Yeah, and it's complicated because, like, it's kind of like the Scotland thing. Again, I don't want to get too deep into this because it's not as simple as, yeah, we want to be Irish again, because it's not that simple. Like everything, it's always not that simple. Like, there's a reason why Scotland said no back in the day. I say back in the day, it was only like 5 years ago, but there's a reason why Scotland said no. I think overwhelmingly no, actually, if memory serves. I think it was like 70-30. But yeah, again, recommend reading on it. Don't want to get in too hard because Xander has brainworms, and I want to let him just go on about his brainworms for a bit, because it's been kind of amusing watching him for the past week. It's pogging and shit.
Okay, so last week Mark opened up a fucking weird-ass goddamn just vortex of stupid fucking bullshit that my brain won't let go of. So he was like, oh, Bionicle, just casually and shit. And I don't remember exactly when the fuck my search started that got me on the whole, oh, what the fuck with this? But it was probably when I was remembering as a child, I entered into the search for the golden mask fucking thing that you would see. I erroneously thought was a Cartoon Network / Toonami promotion, but they premiered those commercials on those networks. It was actually just an official normal Lego promotion.
Makes
where
sense. You
could win, I think, one of 5 14-karat gold Kanohi masks of shielding, the HOW one that Tahu, the red guy, has. And I wanted that so bad that I would enter in the contest every fucking day, and I would do all the different things that get multiple entries and all that shit, and I did not win shit. I didn't even win one of the fucking, like, backup prizes. I didn't win anything. There wasn't even a, like, sorry email. It was a fuck you, you know? And, like, remembering that got me remembering, like, how fucking obsessed I was with fucking Bionicle and shit. So going through my memories and shit just to kind of, like, frame it up for you guys. Before I understood ever what a hyperfocus was, Bionicle was probably the first one. Because it was the first one I really had access to. Because, like, even Pokemon, when it came out, like, I didn't have a Game Boy and I wasn't able to play the games. And for the longest time, I didn't realize there were games until I moved out to Shawnee. Because I used to live in Oklahoma City before that. And I just watched the series, and I was like, all right, cool, the series is cool, the merchandise is cool, but ultimately I can't really interact with this until, like, I got a Game Boy Advance and stuff, and that's when I finally hyper-focused on Pokemon, so it took me a little bit on that. So the first things I ever really got into, because, like, Bionicle was even before fucking Zoid. Bionicle was 2001 when that shit started, and like I said on the last episode, fucking Samurai Jack premiered, and they premiered those fucking, those little animations of the Toa and shit in there, and that's what got me fucking hooked. I was like, I don't know what it was. I don't really remember what it was about it that got me hooked. I already like Lego, so that was probably like some of it. But they're fucking robots, and I think it was just the animation behind it. There was like this implication of story and shit. So then fucking they released the those McDonald's toys. Remember, Devon?
I'm vaguely aware.
Yeah, so they released, they had the discs, and you would put them in their hands, and then they would throw the disc, and the discs were actually kind of like designed, and they would fly and shit. Fucking, and that
Back
was the first one
McDonald's
I ever got.
and Lego gave a shit. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and it was awesome. They were the Matorian, and they were called Tohunga at the time, which they got sued. Last episode I said Maui because I'm fucking stupid. It was Maori people who fucking engaged in a lawsuit for all that shit. So corrections on that. Fucking
dumb bitch.
Yeah. Fucking, that's what really got me into it, because I was like, oh shit. I think the first one I got was the brown one that had like that brown mask, and that mask design was dope as fuck. And I think out of all those masks, that's my favorite design for those wise and shit. And this is a long way to say, like, this is the first thing that I got super obsessed with, because after I got that, I was like, all right, Mom, we have to have McDonald's every fucking day until I get every single fucking one of them. And I didn't get every single one of them, because if you win every single day, you get the same one.
Right? Yeah, because they change it every week. Even I know this. Come on.
So I had like 5 of the brown dude, and I was like, all right, whatever. These are still cool. And then eventually, we moved to Shawnee, and I finally got a Toa, and it was the brown dude, Pahatu, I think was his name. It was the one that had the boulder, and he could kick whenever you did the gear on his thing. And I would like kick the boulder into the little guys. I'd be like, hey, and then sometimes I'd have him kick the little guys because I didn't know anything about the story yet. But then they started releasing those little mini CDs where it had like the lore and stuff on it. It's like, oh shit.
Oh yes, like audio
storyline and all that. And you would pop them in your computer. They were tiny. They had all the Toei animations. They had the Motunui legend. They had all that shit going on. And it was fucking
Oh my
awesome.
god. No, okay, no. So not to change subject, but like those little tiny discs you're talking about, I remember those because I had like the Pokemon ones. They had like a Hoot and a Ladybug one that you put in your computer and you did mini games with all the Pokemon. I remember those little tiny ass CDs. They were so.
Do you remember
weird.
the Yu-Gi-Oh ones?
No, I never got the Yu-Gi-Oh ones, but I remember the Pokemon ones.
I had
So as a quick. Go ahead.
So I remember having the Bionicle one because I remember having the Mask of Light Bionicle one. That was a mini disc. There was a Pokemon one. I also remember this is gonna sound really weird. It was like a mini disc type thing, but it was like in a card shape. But so the disc cut out in the middle. It went in the mini disc tray on the computer and it still read like a disc.
Yeah, that's what
awesome.
I'm talking about because they had like these little tiny Pokemon discs that were like cut on the sides.
Yeah.
And they were still rounded on the top, and they would spin, and you would play little games. It was weird. Loved it. I played it a lot as a kid. It was like a little learning thing. And it had like mini games. It was just like catch all the ladybug. I'd click on the ladybug, and it was just like you missed the ladybug. I'm like the fuck I did. I'm the best fucking 13-year-old Pokemon master you ever did fucking see.
I remember like the Pokemon ones. I can't remember what was on them. I remember the Mask of Light one though because when Mask of Light came out, they really Bionicle was. I think it did alright in the UK. I have no idea compared to the States. But when that thing came out, they were really pounding on it to get people to pay attention to it. Because they put it straight to VHS. I remember being a big deal because me and my brother got it when it came out. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about the film. I can't remember a damn thing about it. Just that the little kid one gets to wear the Mask of Light at the end of it, and they had a mini disc that came with it was with every box of kids cereal had that little disc on it, and they were really pushing.
So a quick aside on that, they're not kids. Those are just they're a different species than the Toa. They're Matoran.
Racist.
Look, they're 4'5", okay? They're kids.
I think they're even smaller than that. I'll get into that.
Leave it to the British person to deny a person their identity.
Seriously.
Hey, what am I, running for the American Supreme Court? Come on.
Ooh.
I mean, with that accent, you might make it through as long as you just go, I actually loved Margaret Thatcher.
No,
you can't lie like that.
I think to make it through on the Supreme Court, I gotta start speaking like this.
I think if Adam said the words, I actually really like Margaret Thatcher, you just catch on fire immediately.
But I said that'd be just spontaneous human combustion.
Try it. Go ahead.
I
actually quite like my. Oh my god! No, okay. Well, no. Jesus Christ.
But fucking, the thing that I did like about the Yu-Gi-Oh ones, in specific about the mini discs ones, they had 3 of them. There was the Kaiba, the Joey, and the Yu-Gi ones. And I think you would get them I think they came out the same time that you could get the Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the McDonald's things. But I don't remember if it was the exact same one.
Are you sure you're not thinking about the Yu-Gi, the Power of Chaos games?
I have those.
Yeah.
No, so I'm talking about a McDonald's promotional disc that didn't have very good. They weren't even games on it. There was they were promo discs. So, because there was some wallpapers. I think some trivia shit. And my favorite thing, because it was so lame, was there was this section where when you clicked on it, Dan Green comes in and is like, and here is a selection from the new CD Yu-Gi-Oh! Music to Duel Buy that you can buy on CD and cassette now. And it plays this terrible fucking song about cards or some shit. And my mom's standing behind me as I'm clicking through this because it's back when your parents still monitor what you did on the computer. And she just busts out fucking laughing. Because my mom was never the person that could just let her child enjoy the thing. She always had to make fun of the thing her child was enjoying. And she wondered why I was insecure.
Yeah, no, I'm just imagining a super bit crush no matter what. It's just no matter what, we'll be the best of friends. No matter what, we were just together. Yeah,
honestly, what I'm imagining actually is you click on it, instead of Dan Green saying that, it just comes and goes, Yu-Gi-Ohs, they're Yu-Gi-licious.
No. I hate that so much.
Bring back that name from fucking how many years ago?
Now I'm thinking the guy. I want to get too far off the Bionicle topic, so I want to go back to it after this. But like early Yu-Gi-Oh with the 4 kids, it was just like amazingly bad because Power of Chaos games, first and foremost, are just really bad Yu-Gi-Oh simulators with voice acting. But what really
Windows 10, by the way, I discovered this the hard way.
Oh my god. But what really like just destroys me about that was like back when they used to do drug PSAs with like the different like cartoon characters on Saturday mornings, and Yu-Gi was like, marijuana is not cool. That's why I duel with honor and for my friends. Honor, that's my anti-drug. I'm just like, what?
I don't remember Yu-Gi doing an anti-drug.
You don't remember it's him doing?
I don't remember that one. No.
I didn't have this anti-drugs as a kid, but even I've seen that one because it was like an internet like sensation for a long time.
Drug PSA.
That reminds me when the Matoran, like McDonald's toys came out, that I would always see right before or right after the McDonald's commercial was the bus commercial, the pass it on one where the dude's on the bus and the shit gets on. It's R-E-S-P-E-C-T. And fucking he's like, excuse me, man, would you like to have my seat? And then the Matoran commercial would play.
Okay, I found it. It's just Yugi's talking about like honor is my anti-drug, and it's like bad.
Yeah, we never had those in the UK. We had a lot of different like anti-drug things going on, but we never had like the 4 kids ones.
I'm sorry, I just listened to it. It's like I wouldn't be the world's best duelist if I smoked marijuana, and then there's me blitzed out of my mind playing Master Duel going, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and summon my Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, and I attack directly by removing its material. I double its attack points by this certain effect, and special summon this to the field, and you lose. It's just like,
how are you married?
I don't know, but I would absolutely smoke the shit out of Yugi in like actual, like if I dueled Yugi now, knowing what I know now back then, I'd destroy his ass. He'd be like, oh,
the entire time I'm watching this PSA, I'm just hearing fucking Dan Green going, weed is way too far. However, ADHD medication such as Ritalin is tournament legal, and depending on how much you use, it may not be seen as a performance-enhancing substance.
That is a can of worms right there. Holy shit.
Pot of Greed might be banned in Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know what else should be? Pot. It's just...
Fuck it.
The forbidden list includes Monster Reborn and crack cocaine.
Konami updated the ban list. What did they put in there this time? Meth.
Crystal Beasts.
Oh shit!
Fine. Crystal Meth. Not even once.
Hang on. Then the next revision of that, they fucking undo the meth update. They put it at limited because all the white people stopped playing.
Fucking hell!
Oh god. Oh fuck. Anyway, okay, back to the Bionicle discussion.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a child-friendly show where the protagonist sends his opponents to hell.
I was gonna say, so we'll get back to Bionicles. For the record, to design some of these cards, you had to be high off your fucking tits. So I refuse to believe there was not drugs involved in the creation of some Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Kazuki Takahashi takes a fat dab and just goes, what if we named Beaver Warrior Louise?
Yeah, but it's like, with over there though, it's okay. They probably are doing some form of drug, but it's probably prescription, it's probably legal, and it's probably not weed. Because if it was weed, they would get nothing done, and Shonen Jump would fire everybody.
And they get blacklisted from the community for the rest of their life.
You know what it probably is? It's probably one of those random legal high cocktails you can find in certain parts of the world.
I mix my Ritalin with some Soma.
You can't read, you can't read the OG Yu-Gi-Oh manga without going in with the knowledge of that, Kazuki Takahashi was probably not only blasted off his ass, but was also interacting with, the King Tut exhibit that was going around at the time in the 90s.
You know what else he probably also was interacting with?
Like he was rubbing his dick on it?
LSD. Was it? I joke, but wasn't that legal in Japan and way later than most of the places?
I have no idea about the drug history of Japan. I just know that you can't smoke weed or you get fucking completely...
Oh, yeah.
You can't even be in a video game.
He did interact with LSD. Literal shiny dragons.
Oh my
God's
fucking
sake.
god.
LSD
No,
in
I don't.
Japan.
But I don't really like going. Oh, they must have been on drugs while doing that because that's like shit. That's shitty.
Yeah.
I feel like the
It's
most
creative.
insane shit is like comes up because you don't have drugs in order to fucking like help you get through whatever's going on in your head. Like fucking the most insane shit in Evangelion is when he didn't have his fucking antidepressants. Like
Adderall is illegal in Japan.
Is that was it basically just
Illegal?
going through withdrawal?
Yeah, Adderall's on the legal list in Japan. Illegal list. Wow, what illegal drug list in Japan? So I just googled it and I'm reading through it right now. So basically, heroin, cocaine, MDMA, opium, cannabis, stimulant drugs, including some prescription medications, Adderall are prohibited in Japan. There are no exceptions in bringing these prohibited medications into Japan, even if the medication is legally obtained outside of Japan. So you can't get Adderall inside Japan.
addendum, kids. You can only use Adderall at tournaments sanctioned outside of the the official card game. You must participate at trading card game only events. Use of Adderall at official card game events prohibited.
I hate that I know exactly what you're talking about when you say official and then trading.
I hate that I know it too. I don't
Yeah.
even fucking play the game.
Having a quick look, it looks like LSD was legal in Japan until 1972.
I think it was legal later than that in America.
No, but Xander's right though. We shouldn't just assume that they're on drugs just because some wacky shit's going on. Just assume that like no, that's just how the brain works.
Yeah, like
I
the
mean-
entirety of this insane series I came up with End of Eternity that I'm not going to talk more about because I still want to do that. That was when I was like sober, like explicitly sober. I was like, I will not smoke weed again. And that was when I was the worst, shittiest person ever.
Well, it's an island nation. I get it. I also come from an island nation. You like isolate yourself off for a few hundred years and shit gets wild. I mean, have you fucking seen Wales? I'm just saying, you always stay on an island for a long time, shit gets weird.
Yeah. You know what else is an island nation? The
Malaysia?
island of Matanui, where Bionicle takes place.
Good segue back.
Hell
Good
yeah.
segue back. We'll
Bring
allow
it
it.
back.
We'll allow it. We'll
Love
allow
it. You love to see it. Love to hear it. Right, Chad?
Anyway, as I was saying, I was fucking obsessed with that shit ever since the McDonald's shit came out. And then I finally started collecting that shit. I woke a lot of those fucking memories. But the deepest lore and memories of all that shit is that I used to have a subscription to Nickelodeon Magazine. And Nickelodeon Magazine would release the DC Comics Bionicle comic and just give you that issue when you were subscribed to it every time it came out. And I read all the way from the beginning of that fucking series in 2001 to Mask of Light in 2003 and watched fucking Mask of Light, which I didn't rewatch last night, which was wild. I was not expecting Piccolo to play Tahu. Yeah.
Chris the Bat?
No, Saban Piccolo.
Oh,
Scott McNeil, dude.
okay.
Yeah, that was wild. So, okay. I guess it was residual knowledge of Mask of Light in my head because I didn't remember a whole lot about the vocal performance of it. But I remember when it came out as a kid, I was like, I don't like Tahu's voice. That's not how I imagine him at all. But the last like week or so, as I've been reading like this lore and shit, and then like I found the comics and downloaded those and started reading through them and shit, Tahu in my head has been Scott McNeil's voice. I couldn't name Scott McNeil. I couldn't tell you what he was in until I looked it up, like after like watching the movie and shit last night. But I was like, yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm this gravelly motherfucker. I'm about to take Goku. I'm gonna watch you die when we take out your fucking brother, and I'm gonna steal your fucking kid. I was like, yeah, that's Tahu. And it turns out, yeah, no, that is. So it was probably just some subliminal shit in my fucking head. So I'm reading through all this shit. I'm looking through the lore in this Bionicle wiki and shit, because Mark apparently, I guess this is my hyper focus right now, because I haven't built a fucking model kit since Mark brought up fucking Bionicle. I've just been reading about fucking Bionicle. And fucking,
Send me your model kits.
no, I love having a backlog, because it means anytime I want to build one, they're right there. I'm still trying to fix the fucking Toyota, but that's a discussion for later, because I melted that motherfucker. But I'm looking through this shit, and I jumped to kind of like the end of it because I stopped paying attention to the series at Mask of Light. Like that's when I kind of fall off. The Metro Nui stuff didn't really interest me. And then they had this like plug with All American Rejects where there was like they gave you free MP3s and there was another contest going on, and I got a bunch of free MP3s, but I didn't win any of the contests, and that was like, enough is enough. I've had it with this motherfucking contest and this motherfucking not giving me shit.
Wait. All American Rejects, like the guys who did that Dirty Little Secret song.
Maybe that one, but I remember.
Fun fact: they're from Oklahoma.
Move along like a yo-yo do.
Move along, yeah. Wow. How you gonna find it?
This time, move along. Just a night that
You can tell one of us hates a song because we do the voice Xander just did. So that lets me know that Xander fucking hates that song.
No, okay. All right. So, all right, this is another fucking tangent, but it's fine because it's our show and we can go on as many tangents as we want because this is
true.
We're just fuck it. Also, fuck Bill Maher. But fucking,
Jesus Christ.
whenever I do a crazy version of it, I either do very much hate it, or if I go heavy on the Madonna at the first, which is like that fucking Gary Newman thing, I actually love it. So like, I'll take for instance, fucking what is it called? Throw It All Away, the Sonic Adventure 2 Shadows theme. I hate the vocal edit of that. I love the instrumental of that. I love that instrumental track. It's bang. It's like burning, yeah. It's fucking like dope. And then Everett Bradley comes in. It's like you live an endless life forever. And I'm like, this is the worst fucking song I've ever heard in the entirety of my entire goddamn fucking life. And I hate this fucking song. And whenever Everett Bradley starts singing on it. Ooh, don't get started on Everett Bradley. That's a
You
whole
will
other
not
tangent.
have an endless life forever. That's not how that works.
Concessions?
What?
My opinion on the Sonic Adventure games are well known. However, if somebody asks, hey, do you care if I put on the soundtrack? I will always say, fuck yeah, dude.
No, I'll give you that the instrumentals are fucking great. And like all the Crush 40 songs and stuff.
I mean like the Crush 40 stuff, because like, so I don't know if he's going to be back there this year. Sadly, he wasn't there last year, but Johnny What's-His-Face from Crush 40 is a Too Many Games regular. He does a concert every single year on the Friday night. It is a pilgrimage to go see him play every Friday night with him and the air band. And it's, so he basically, he just sings. He doesn't actually have any interest with him. He just sings and he pulls it up from the stage to do an air band, like air guitar, air drums, air bass, everything. And he just fucking nails it every single time because he's just having fun and, like, he's the only person on the planet who I think can bring those songs out, get a crowd of a bunch of, sweaty people, and just have a bunch of fun. And it's just, yeah, it's just, you can tell the man loves what he does.
Yeah, but not all the singers on there are Crush, or like Johnny. Not all of them are Crush 40.
I know.
Yeah.
He does the Crush 40 songs, but yeah, I'm specifically referring to the Crush 40 songs.
The two songs that I don't like, one of them is fucking Throw It All Away because Everett Bradley's voice, and the other one is the other Everett Bradley song that everybody else loves.
The City Escape?
Yeah, I hate fucking City Escape. I cannot fucking... Okay, I hate hating on Everett Bradley. Everett, if the very slight fucking 0.000000001% chance somebody fucking, I don't know, clipped this to send to you to hurt your feelings or something, like, no, you're not a bad singer. You have a great voice. You have amazing control. You deserve all the awards you've won. You deserve all the money you've made. And like,
yeah,
I'm not trying to trash you specifically.
Yeah, don't ever
Your
fret,
voice is
sadly.
not the problem I have with it. It's City Escape less so much, but on Throw It All Away, I went on the Everett Bradley rant. God damn it! But on Throw It All Away,
I've been waiting for this.
I told myself in the beginning, don't go on this rant, and then did it anyway. But in Throw It All Away, the vocal pitch and performance doesn't fucking match that track at all to me. And the thing that gets me the most is not even the vocal performance. It's the stupid fucking lyrics. So it's not even Everett Bradley's fault. But I've been unable to, like, properly accept this in my head. Everett Bradley didn't write the fucking lyrics to Throw It All Away. It's not his fault that he sings, quote, "You'll live an endless life forever."
I don't even think that's the worst one, because he also goes like, out of the darkness, the doorways, and the dusk. I'm like, what? Huh?
So
like,
dark, the darkness, the dances in the dusk. throw it all away.
Is that it? See, I can't even understand what the fucking lyrics are.
So dark and darkness, it dozes in the dust. Throw it all away.
No one can break you, no one can tear you. You're living
life forever.
Okay, yeah, no, that's stupid as shit.
Yeah, and then there's that one part where it's doing the breakdown as it's like building up, and then he just keeps going
I'm
just like, ugh. But yeah, no, that's not Everett's fault, because he's a hired musician for that, and he has a great voice. All respect to you. You are a legendary musician, and I am sorry for sullying your name and going on this rant. Peace be with you. And if I offended you, you have all right to strike me down with whatever fucking force you want, and I will not resist. Go for it.
Ooh, daddy.
How the fuck did we get on Everett Bradley from Bionicle?
Something about a voice actor who was Saban Vegeta or something, or Piccolo. Or
Yeah,
something.
Scott McNeil, but who brought up Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm trying, because I was going to loop it back, because the Everett Bradley rant served a purpose to loop back, and now I've completely forgot what the fucking...
Oh, because
it's
all American
clearly
Reject MP3s. And I made
All
fun
American
of it,
Rejects,
and
yes.
yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
and I
cool.
was making fun of your singing voice.
All right.
And yeah.
So, yes. When I do that crazy shit that you just heard me do on Throw It All Away, where I could not at all even attempt to do it like normally, to like even demonstrate the fucking song, and it's not even in a goofy like Randy Newman sort of way. That's what I don't like the song. But when I'm like,
When all you gotta think is strong, move along like I know you do.
I like the song. There was a time in my life where I didn't like the song anymore and was like, oh, actually, this is cringe. But I have grown past that, and the only thing I think is still cringe is the first Disturbed album and all Disturbed albums after Asylum.
I mean, there's a few albums. There's a few albums I've gone back to from when I was a teenager. By teenager, I mean like 13, 14. I've gone, ooh, that was kind of cringe.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
before we go
hindsight.
on a whole ass music tangent, MP3s, All American Rejects. Actually, fun fact: they came from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically Stillwater, which was like I want to say an hour from where I lived. So
Yeah, I'd say the promotion with Bionicle definitely worked, because I stopped paying attention to Bionicle before that. But their music being involved with the promise of free MP3s and like being able to win gear and shit got me back into it. And I didn't buy any Bionicle at the time, but they did get to collect a lot of advertising data off of me. So I think it worked out in the long run. But yeah, after that, I stopped fucking paying attention to it. But Mark brings up the thing. I start looking into it because of the mask. And then after remembering all this shit, I'm like, all right, what? Turns out, spoilers for Bionicle, if you guys give a fuck about that. It turns out, the island of Matanui and the great spirit that they worship are a giant fucking robot the size of a planet that malfunctioned and crash landed into a planet that is of just a giant ocean called Aqua Magna. And the island is his face. And
So
the
you're
fuck
saying they worship the Death Star?
No, it gets crazier than that, dude. It's even fucking crazier than that. So all the other developments like Metro Nui and all these different places and stuff turn out to be within that robot, and the entire universe up until this reveal has taken place within the giant spirit robot Matanui. And then fucking so the lore expands. And so my understanding whenever I talked about Bionicle in the last episode was the original legend that was told at the start of the whole fucking product line, where Matanui and Bakuda were brothers and jealous, he put Matanui in a deep sleep, whatever. Not entirely correct. So the Makuta were an entire brotherhood of creatures created by Matanui to populate the lands within him, within the robot, and all that shit, and to keep that universe going, because the Great Spirit was supposed to manage the universe within him, because all of the beings in there were programmed for a specific purpose I'll get into in a sec. And he had to maintain that order. But Matanui's main fucking goal was to observe a bunch of alien civilizations and go throughout the cosmos and try to like learn from all these different societies and shit, because the world he came from, because of this shit that these people called the Great Beings discovered, split into fucking a bunch of different pieces and shit. One of those pieces being the ocean that the island was fucking eventually sank into. He neglected everybody that was like in him, and the people he created, the Makuta, that were supposed to like maintain order, were like, all right, well, this fucking sucks. This dude's not paying attention to this. Everything's going to fucking hell. Everybody's rebelling. There was a civil war inside there where a bunch of Matorans slaughtered each other for like control of the city of Metru Nui. Like this crazy shit. And I'm like, this is a fucking children's Lego product. What the fuck is going on? And so it turns out that the brother or whatever is actually this dude Pterodax, who is in the Brotherhood of Makuta, who didn't cast a spell on Motunui or whatever. He uploaded a fucking virus to the processor of the Great Spirit robot and fucking like jacked Motunui out of there and like gained control of the fucking like robot. He ends up expelling the entire fucking spirit, destroying the entire fucking island and killing everybody on it, rising out of the fucking ocean and shit, and going fucking like outwards into the fucking galaxy to go conquer the entire fucking universe and shit. Meanwhile, the fucking, like, the spirit that I was like, this is fucking, turns out to be this goddamn robot this whole time, like, starts inhabiting this mask and becomes a fucking, like, Toa, like, himself, and becomes, like, actual, like, Bionicle dude, and, like, goes on this whole fucking, like, hero's journey fucking arc, learns to appreciate, like, fucking life and all this shit, relearns his whole purpose and shit, and, like, reaffirms his mission, takes over a prototype giant fucking robot that the Great Beings created for him to take over, because the original plan was he was supposed to work with that Makuta guy to like bring everything together, but he fucked up so royally that the other dude's just like, no, fuck you, I'm not gonna work with you, I'm gonna fucking kill you and fucking like take over the universe in my own fucking way, and I'm gonna do my own thing because you don't fucking matter, you're bad. And it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is like this complex moral shit in the goddamn Lego franchise? So then you have in the grand finale of all this shit, fucking they bring Tahu back, the red Toa that all three of us owned, because I went back and listened to our last fucking episode, and apparently we all own the same guy. And he goes and fucking like, while Motunui is like taking over like the prototype robot and trying to like rebuild those systems and prepare for the final battle and shit, Tahu goes and gathers the entirety of like the golden armor set from the original fucking run of Bionicle, and fucking becomes like the golden Toa himself and shit, and fucking comes out of the Great Spirit robot into like the greater world. I think it was called Bara Magna. It's like the desert world that surrounds, because the original world's called Spherus Magna, and it's split up in this cataclysm into Aqua Magna, the ocean fucking planet, Bara Magna, the desert planet, and then this third one that I forgot, because by this point I'm smoking so much weed when I'm reading this, because I'm like, this is fucking insane, and I have to fucking smoke a bunch of weed when I'm reading this insane ass shit. This is Gurren Lagann level insane. This is straight up like, all right, well the robots get super big and now they're throwing planets at each other like to fight and kill each other, and galaxies are exploding and that kind of shit, like insane. I'm like, this happens in like fucking 2010 is when this whole finale happens and shit.
The thing is, the way you're describing it, it very much reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles, with the whole people living on a giant robot and all that shit. Like that's,
I haven't played that.
I mean, that's the main. It's a main plot point. It's not really a spoiler.
Okay, but yeah, so fucking like at the end of all this shit, all the prophecies and shit were just programming. There was no actual prophecies. It was just how the Matoran people were interpreting it to each other from hundreds of thousands of years of forgetting their purpose and all this shit, from like all this crazy fucking chaotic shit going on. And at the end of all this, now you understand everything. So the final fucking battle between two giant goddamn robots happened, and fucking Tahu on the ground fucking like taking out Makuta's army, trying to keep it from killing like the progenitor race that's on the actual planet itself outside of the robot, because they're still alive. And fucking, so this giant fucking robot battle, and it's fucking amazing, and like it's actually like drawn out in the comics. There's actually like, they finished this in comic form and shit. They didn't get to make the movie, it got canceled, but they finished it in the comics and shit. And fucking Motunui ends up fucking tricking Makuta into helping him reform the entire fucking planet by fighting him, and in the end domes him in the back of the fucking head with the Aqua Magna, the planet that fucking like he was originally like trapped on, and the like was the the island and shit, kills the original fucking Great Spirit robot that the entire universe is stored within, finishes melding the original universe together, kills him fucking self to save all the Matoran in the fucking Great Spirit robot and bring them onto the fucking, like, planet, fucking fill it with life and, like, rebuild, like, make it habitable and, like, a beautiful paradise and all this shit, and, like, create, like, a world where these things that were essentially just, like, these robots created as programs, so that way these guys called the Great Beings, who kind of caused everything to fuck up to begin with, could just use them to rebuild everything. Now they get to live on this fucking planet alongside the original, like, fucking races that still live there, and, like, fucking harmony, and, like, they become their own people, and they're, like, no longer slaves and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this ages 6 and up product and this finale? By this point, I'd smoked a whole gram of weed, so I'm just fucking tripping balls. and yeah, fucking Matanui dies and fucking then leaves the fucking, like, leaves paradise for Tahu and shit to rebuild.
Honestly, the way that you're describing this now, it's just like I'm imagining Charlie just talking about Pepe Silvia, but you're just like, this might get to the fucking Matanui. I haven't talked about. Can I talk about the Matanui?
Have I talked about the original Toa yet? Oh, I haven't talked about the original Toa. Oh, the original Toa were completely different than the people that you thought were the original Toa. Oh no, those are the Toa Metsu. Have you heard of the Toa?
Xander, what the hell happened to the Bionicle? We're way beyond Bionicle now, Mac.
Bionicle stands for Biological Chronicle, Mac. Biochronicle. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I have managed to not go to the point of the hyper focus of buying anything or spending money on anything related to Bionicle. Thankfully, I'm looking at the toys. They're not as complex as I remember them. They still look cool, but not cool enough for me to spend $20 on a used thing when I could spend that money on a Gundam when it's even cooler because there's more to it, you know? Like, if they were a little bit more complex and mechanical, maybe. I don't know. I might change my mind on that as time goes on, because as we all know, as Mark liked to point out, they don't have to be built the way they're presented. You can add on to them and customize them and shit. And imagine taking my airbrush and repainting some of these.
That was the best part of them, was being able to, like, reform them to whatever you wanted to. So I don't want to eat too much on that again, but that is true. Those were a lot of fun.
I can't believe you just let me talk about Bionicle for like 30 fucking minutes. Fuck you guys.
Oh no, because it was warranted. It was warranted, dude. Yeah, they're fucking cool.
We've been watching you in the chat for the past week just lose your goddamn mind about this, and I'm just like, you know what? No, let Xander go. Let Xander go. Get the brain worms out, because this is going to be fun. And honestly, did not disappoint.
I just can't even. If you would have asked Kid me to try to predict where I was going, I never would have saw that coming. Even as an adult, like, it all takes place on a robot's face. They all live inside a giant fucking space robot. God. And the dude, Greg, who wrote most of the storyline and stuff, has been, like, super open with, like talking about behind the scenes stuff and, like, where it would have went from there had it not gotten canceled and all that shit. And I'm just like, damn, this was actually, like, this dude loved this fucking thing. This dude just loved fucking, like, working on Bionicle. And he's like, yeah, I just loved it. I was like, they just let him do what he wanted.
And maybe it's more focused now as well. I feel like they did a lot of cutting back in the late 2010s.
Yeah, because 2010 is when the original line ended. They canceled Bionicle, and then it was Bionicle Stars. And that was when the final, like, battle with, like, Tahu gathering the golden armor and the two robots beating the shit out of each other happened. And then they rebooted it in 2015 in a brand new continuity, which I know nothing about. But since it's new and not the thing I know, I'm going to say it sucks with confidence. And it got canceled in 2016.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's perfectly fine. I mean, like, again, it was very interesting to watch it, because I never got that into the Bionicle. Like, again, I had a couple and I played the games on the website, but I never watched the shows or the movies or anything like that. So I wasn't that into it. But, like, man, there was a lot more lore there than I was fucking expecting there to be. Like, that was A whole ass lore dump. Holy shit.
And that's me summing up like an entire week's worth of reading through this lore and shit. Like, I cannot. There's so many little like. I could spend all day. I might just make a Bionicle video at some point, so I stop fucking talking to people. I keep texting our social media manager all these different things about Bionicle when you guys don't respond because they're under contract to respond to me, because it could be about the Twitter. Because they have to run mine and ours now. Because I got suspended, so legally I can't run it under the terms of service, but she can. I sent her this.
The moon puts up with a lot of crap from you, doesn't it?
No, this isn't the moon. This is Janet. Fucking. Because Luna doesn't do the social media stuff. Luna's too busy with other stuff. Janet does our other things. Janet used
Luna
to be my
has this thing called
coworker.
life.
When I was homeless, she gave me an entire pack of cigarettes when she first met me, without knowing anything about me. So I just inherently trust her for the rest of my life. She tried to get a social media manager job somewhere and didn't have experience. So I was just like, we have a Twitter account and I'm bad at remembering to post on it. She was like, you don't even have to pay me. I was like, for legal reasons, I'm going to state on the podcast that I do pay you.
It's an internship.
By the way, you're getting paid, Janet.
But yeah, I sent her last night. The last straw where she blocked my phone number for about 12 hours was I sent her a t-shirt design of the original Toa from Bionicle in their like iconic pose in the Bionicle font, Death Grips.
Dude, every time I think of Death Grips, I think of that fucking video that Flyer sends me with the fucking, it's the Zeta Gundam, but with like MC Ride. It destroys me every time.
Yeah, I decided it wasn't too stupid to send to her because the account I found it on scammed everybody who bought from them on Etsy, and their name is graphic design is my passion, so it's probably a stolen design. So whatever.
Fantastic.
That's right. It's probably better than my hyperfixation this week, but like it's warranted. I feel mine this week.
What is your hyperfixation this week, Adam?
Well, it's the same as it always has been, but it's just been,
taking over the world.
A little sadder this week because it is, of course, the anniversary of Mira's death on the 6th. Well, it was a couple days ago. So a lot of Berserk posting from me. A lot of people sharing their favorite panels. A lot of people sharing fan art. Apparently, the Final Fantasy 14 Memorial was back up and running, where they had everyone like line up as Black Swords.
All the Dark Knights. Yeah,
line up and down, which is cool. But yeah, so you've seen a lot of Berserk posting from me over this weekend. So that's been why.
A lot of people doing a lot of Berserk posting because that's a very powerful series. My wife, she picked up the third volume. I saw her reading it today. She's really enjoying it so far. So that's awesome.
Third is like the downfall during the golden age. So this is the when shit's starting to hit peak. One of the many peaks, but this is when like you're like, oh god, and then she's gonna pick up volume 4 and want to cry.
Yep. But so my hyperfixation this week has been a really interesting one. So last week, after our recording, my new cat got delivered to us. So yes. if you guys remember, Adam was fostering some kittens that were found in an Acura, and
that's important to the story, by the way, because they are Acura cats.
Yeah, they're Acura cats. They found an Acura, and they fostered them to health and kept them good to go, and they're finally all at different homes aside from the one that you guys kept.
Yep.
The last one to get shipped out was mine, the little black one, which we named Camille.
For that, by shipping out, Devon doesn't mean we put them in a box or anything. No, like we know somebody who runs a pet nanny service. Thank you, Wayne, by the way, if you're listening, who flew Camille all the way down to Tejas.
Yes, and he's very happy. He's very healthy, so I'm glad. But anyway, I've discovered that in this time, my cat is a screen whore and a foodie. And essentially, I've just been playing Binging with Babish, or Babish, whichever it is.
You said it right the first time, Babish.
Babish. Okay, cool. Binging with Babish. And I don't know what it is. Definitely a little bit of a man crush. Absolutely a little bit of a man crush. But it's also like, I want to cook all of this food now. Like, not some of the crazier shit, but like seeing some of these meals that he makes, like, I can make that. That's not that difficult. Like, watching him do it, it's just like, I want to cook that. Like, I've just been getting this wild cooking hair up my ass lately. And like, I made some, what was it? Creole. I made some Creole like a couple of days ago. It came out fucking fantastic. And I'm working on some tacos soon, and I saw the way that he cooked them. Like, I want to cook them like that next. I want to cook tacos like that. It's just, and the thing is Camille will just sit there on my desk or on my lap and just watch the man cook, and we're both just entranced watching this man cook.
I used to put rip streams on for him, like literally for him, and he would sit and stare.
Yeah, he does that, and it's just like it's absolutely wild. And I'm sitting here watching this guy cook all this food, and I'm just like, man, I am very hungry, and I want to cook all of the things he's cooking, even the crazy out there shit like the fucking double deep fried Krabby Patty he made. Like, what the fuck? Oh, it all looks amazing.
Doesn't help that Camille, or used to be known as Scram, so apologies I call him Scram back because I know his cat is Scram for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, is also like very much into food. Like, there's an infamous incident a couple of weeks ago before he went down to Day House where he's in my lap because Scram is a lap cat through and through. And I'm trying to eat dinner, trying to eat some pork and potatoes, and like he is looking at this pork like, "Hey, what you got there? What you got there?" Also, doesn't help that Rip was feeding him like cheese and crisps and fucking Cheez-Its and stuff. Like, this is a confession that should probably not be on the air, but we did give him chicken nuggets once. It was after he had his shots, and it was a very bad no good day. He was not happy. We're like, we feel bad. So we gave him a chicken nugget. We gave him a chicken nugget.
He's fine. He's fine. He's a big boy. He can take it.
Please do it. Do as I say, not as I do.
He's currently in the process of destroying his litter box, so you know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. His brother did that recently.
Yeah, but anyway, that's been my my hyperfixation this week is just watching binging with Babish videos. It's just it's so much food. And then I started to segue into another channel that he referenced on his channel. It's a guy who's like, it's like fast food, but my way. And he basically like will make the fast food, but better.
What's his name? Yeah, long-haired ginger bloke.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but I love him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. My wife loves him too.
Because I was watching him and he's just like shitting on like the quesarito from Taco Bell. I'm like, okay, first and foremost, I get it. It's Taco Bell. It's not like fine dining. It's fucking fast food. So I get it. It's not the best, but guess what? You're not there for like.
But Devon, for the same price that you're paying, they could increase the quality of the item and still make a profit off of it. And the only reason why they do that is because they're cheap bitches.
I understand that, but he is bitching so much about these things. It's like, bro, it is fast food. Like, and yes, clearly, if
Joshua Wiseman, that's the cunt.
Yeah, and clearly, yeah, if you can make it yourself, it's gonna be better. That's a fact. I've made quesadillas myself, and they were better. But here's the thing. They have to like get a shitload of these out in a short amount of time. They can't take that kind of time to make that.
Yeah.
So it's just
I quite like his
there's
content.
a lot of factors, but come on, dude.
If they hired more people and paid them more, they could do that. But capitalize.
I quite like his content, but you have to understand his background. I think he is like a former Michelin star chef, which explains a lot about his content.
But the Michigan star doesn't mean anything because fucking Detroit doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. What the fuck is Detroit but Ohio? Exactly.
One more time?
No, don't.
I was gonna ask which part because there was a bunch of points there.
Devon, don't take the bait.
Anyway,
before we know,
they can have Toledo. Let's be fair. They can have Toledo. No, nobody wants Toledo, but they can have it.
Stop.
Good grief.
Like, I don't hate his content. He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but he definitely gives off like that dickish vibe when he's like tearing into these fast food restaurants. It's just like, bro, step down a little bit.
If you want,
he did introduce us to black garlic. Though black garlic is the bomb.
Oh yeah.
If you want a guy who's less dickish and more wholesome in his personality, you should look at Ethan Chlebowski. He makes content. He is cool. He is very nice about it, and he is very humble and relatable. And I like his voice, and I like his style, and he doesn't have a weird
I might
accent.
look into that.
Another one to recommend you, Devon, is Emmy Made in Japan. She does. She mostly does viral recipes she finds on the internet these days.
Mm-hmm.
But she used to be based in Japan, hence the name. But she's now based in New England.
If we're talking about Japanese ones, Champ's Japanese Kitchen is my favorite cooking channel ever. I've actually cooked all of his recipes. Like, no lie.
If you want
Are we becoming old because we like food shows? Is that what's happening to us?
No, I've always liked food shows. Have you fucking Devon? Do you think you get to be this without liking food?
Okay.
So,
Never mind.
so
You're
first
right,
off-
because I used to grow up watching Iron Chef. Like, I watched Iron Chef all the fucking time. Bro, okay.
MasterChef,
real talk.
Iron Chef,
Real
fucking-
talk. When Babish got to go and, like, cook with Morimoto, like, holy shit. I had the biggest smile on my face because, like, that is a guy from my childhood cooking with a guy from my current hyperfixation. So it's just like, bro, that's awesome. Like, I was, like, losing my shit.
And Morimoto's a Philadelphia legend, too, so what up?
First off, how dare you? How fucking dare you, Devon? Watching a 10-minute instructional video on YouTube for a recipe I'm going to make that night when I watch it is much different than watching Food Network for 12 straight hours while I lay on the couch and eat potato chips.
Didn't do it with the potato chips, but I've done that.
I come from the people who do the number 2, but I only engage in the number 1. How dare you? 2, engaging in hobbies isn't an old person's thing. It's called, we finally don't have to listen to our fucking parents tell us how to do things, and we have a little bit of freedom to explore things that we might enjoy. Plus, also, we can buy our own utilities. Like, I just bought a rice cooker. I've never been able to do that.
Bro, rice cookers are the shit.
Yeah, I got the right one.
You didn't know a rice cooker before?
That
was legit. Sorry?
I had an Instapot, but I wanted like something smaller because the Instant Pot scares me because it goes bing, and I'm like, what? And it goes bing, bing, bing. I'm like, what? And it goes shh. I'm like, I don't like this. And it goes and I was like, no. And then it unplugged the stuff from the outlet and starts floating and starts screaming all like the terrible things I've done. It's like, I know where the body is. I know you buried it at the Green River. Okay. You cannot hide that from me. And then I wake up.
That's the poltergeist.
So was that Poultrygeist, Devon? Seriously? Was it?
No, I didn't say poltergeist. He has a poltergeist. I would never joke about a fucking ghost in his home.
It's a Poultrygeist because I put chicken broth in the rice.
Okay, well that's different. Then in that situation, it is a poltergeist. It's the ghost of a.
Oh my god, we just wrote a fucking episode of Marty and Jim. God damn it.
But
Jim buys a possessed Instapot and Marty like tries to get the Ghostbusters to help, but he doesn't get the Ghostbusters. He just gets 3 guys who are like Dustbusters. He's just like, I thought it was the same thing.
Yeah.
If we throw dust at the ghost, we'll be fine.
But like the setup, so we can call it Poltergeist. Fucking like Marty goes to make some fucking white rice with chicken broth, no salt, no pepper, no seasoning, nothing else. White rice.
Why'd you do that?
Chicken broth. That's it.
He doesn't even wash the grains. That's how he pisses off the
No,
rice
Marty
balls.
washes the grains because his middle name's Antonio, and Antonio ain't no bitch. But fucking, if anybody doesn't wash the grains, it's insert character who doesn't wash grains specifically in this episode, just so that way I can kill them off later for not washing the grain. Idea. Okay, so their new friend, dude, insert character nickname, fucking goes to help them make something, and he's the one that puts the plain rice with the chicken broth in there, which is fine because you can put stuff on top of it, but he doesn't wash the rice, which pisses off the thing, which causes the spirit residing in the Instant Pot to get really agitated because the spirit in the Instant Pot isn't an idiot. So then it becomes the Poltergeist, and it has like a chicken spirit around the Instant Pot, and it kills the guy. It brutally kills the guy. Like, we have a 3-minute long like disemboweling scene where we can't shoot all of it like right on camera because obviously that's grotesque. But we do a lot of creative shots, like people's expressions in mirrors and like pannings and zooms and like just implications and shit like that. And then yeah,
that one shot where you zoom in, but you pull the camera at the same time, so it's just like the background gets further away, but the person's still there. It's like, whoop.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
this episode,
shot. I love
not
those shots.
sponsored by Instant Pot, but it could be because I quite like my Instant Pot.
Yeah, I could use like 3 of them. Imagine how many things you could cook with 3 Instant Pots.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Honestly, it was one of my best pandemic purchases because former employer Best Buy had a sale on like their Insignia brand one, and then being a Best Buy employee still technically at the time, I had my employee discount on top of that. So it was a really good purchase, and like do not regret it because, look, even if you don't cook rice that much, it's worth at least buying an Instant Pot because the amount of things you can do in that is crazy.
Yeah.
Plus, when you do want to cook rice, there's something the Instant Pot or rice cooker knows that you don't know. And that's the internal temperature of your fucking rice while it's cooking. So it knows when to shut the fuck off. That's how you get perfect rice every fucking time.
Yeah, if I had 3 Instant Pots, just imagine how many things I could cook at once. Like, in one pot, I could have rice. And while the rice is going, I could have rice. And while that rice is going, I could have rice. Dude, I could fucking cook so much rice in the Instant Pot.
I'm definitely more of a jasmine rice kind of person. Not gonna
Oh,
lie.
dude, my favorite thing to put in there is rice. And then I like on top of that, I'd put some rice. And then I would put some rice. And then, maybe rice. But definitely not rice.
So many
Too much
different
rice
things.
is a fucking... That's too much.
I've pressure cooked a ham in one before. I've also done we've done apple butter in it before as well for a wintertime project. We've also done we did meat sauce in it once. Honestly, the slow cooker is better for the meat sauce. If I'm honest with you, what's nice with the Instant Pot is it has like the saute mode, so you can saute everything in there and keep the fond in the pot, which is a nice touch. But like, it's just not as good at that as it is at like certain other things. There's something it's really fucking good at. Rice is definitely A tier though.
Yeah, if you need something to pressure cook, fucking Instant Pot's definitely the way to go. Like the craziest thing I ever pressure cooked in the Instant Pot is rice.
I just got very upset because I just remembered something.
What was that?
So like, thinking about how much Food Network I watched as a kid. So first and foremost, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I love, unironically, fucking love Guy Fieri.
Okay.
Greatest dude
Yeah,
ever.
well, okay. I'll go ahead and throw my hat in there too. Exception to the how dare you, diners, drive-ins, and dives is a fucking vibe. I love that.
Yeah, love that guy.
I can watch it.
He's just great in general. Like every time I hear about him in the news, he's just like amazing. I'm just like, yes, more of this, please. Secondly, I have a friend who fucking hates Bobby Flay. Like, can't stand the guy.
Apparently it's a really common thing because me and wife, we quite like Good Eats. That's like one of our go-to comfort shows to watch.
Okay, I'm actually going to touch on that in a minute. I'm going to touch on that because that's specifically what I'm upset about.
But like we quite like that. But like the amount of people who have out for Bobby Flay, like we figure, maybe people have out for Ron Brown because he's the host of Iron Chef. He's in a lot of different things, and he's known for being quite a private guy until he makes really off-color jokes. And everyone goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?"
No.
But yeah, everyone hates Bobby Flay, and I'm like, oh my god, is it the New England thing?
I don't know, but my friend, she hates Bobby Flay with a passion. I think she actually memorized every episode that Bobby Flay is lost in beat Bobby Flay.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah,
I love that. By the way, I love that show exists just because everyone kept picking him on Iron Chef.
Yeah,
And they were just like, no, you need your own show to deal with this so everyone else can have a time to play on Iron Chef because this is fucking out of control.
yeah. But what I was going to touch upon, so Alton Brown, you said it.
Yeah.
He's made some off-color jokes. It's some very off-color opinions on the internet and kind of made like a real ass of himself. And it was very upsetting because like I fucking loved Good Eats. Like I watched every episode when I was growing up, and like I had so many episodes recorded on my Hulu account recently, and then I was like, oh my god, they're bringing back Good Eats, holy shit, oh let's fucking go, okay. And I was just like, I'm gonna download and watch Good Eats, and then like, oh, he made such an ass of himself.
He could. It's in fairness, he did like almost immediately apologize, and it could have been a lot worse what he said. Like at least it wasn't like COVID conspiracies, and it wasn't like
No, dude, he was. Am I wrong in remembering
that wasn't him. No, the comment he made was basically it was after Trump refused to concede the election, and he was just like the way things are going, Trump's not going to leave power, and he's going to make people who didn't vote for him wear little yellow stars like the Holocaust.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was what he said. He just took it way too far in that, and I went, wind your neck in. And he did apologize, but yeah, no, that was definitely Not the move.
Hot take. Jewish man, lifelong Jewish person. I've identified as Jewish since at least I was a teenager and discovered I was Jewish. Hot take. Not that bad. Stupid. Yeah, very stupid.
Stupid. Yeah. But not that bad.
I'd still watch Good Eats.
Yeah. He apologized for it pretty quickly. It was not a smart take, but sorry, Devon, please continue.
No, because now my brain is like, well, then what was it that he did? Because I was just like, I remember he said something, but I wasn't sure what it was about.
There was another controversy he said, because he was a lifelong GOP voter, but he was just like, no, this is stupid and shit. And people were like, oh, fucking rhino. So that was another one.
Because his family's from the Deep South. So.
Ooh, speaking of Deep South, this has nothing to do with actually the South, but when I was a kid and first started learning how to make music, I found this like how-to page. I was like for FL Studio or something. They're like, we're gonna use the genre Dirty South as an example, and so I made a like tutorial like song along with it, and I labeled the song Dirty South. And then my mom saw the file in the file list. She was like, "What the fuck is Dirty South?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, and she was like going crazy. She's like, "What the fuck?" She tried to open it, but it was an FL Studio file, so it wouldn't open as like a video or whatever. She's trying to open it in QuickTime at the time. I was like, Mom, Dirty South's the music genre. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, so I opened up FL Studio and I opened up the fucking song. I was like, Mom, and I played it. And she was like, oh. And then she just started laughing her fucking ass off at her overreaction on that one. And that was one of the few times that I won an argument because I was able to just hit play. Dirty South. I'll never forget Dirty South. I need to make another Dirty South one just because I want to now.
Fair enough. But you're right though, Devon. There was like one former or current Food Network person who made some really bizarre tweets recently. I say recently, a couple of years ago.
Emerald?
I'm just trying to remember what it was because my brain's like, I know I watched them, but I don't remember what it was. All I remember is when I was growing up, the Food Network star I didn't like was Mario Batali because one time I watched him on his show when he was messing with chicken. Motherfucker did not wash his hands.
That's it. That's the guy.
It's Mario Batali. Wasn't it Me Too shit?
Yeah, he got. No, it wasn't even like, oh, maybe he did it. No, the motherfucker did it.
Did he send out an apology recipe? He sent out this fucking email and it had a fucking recipe attached to it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I hated that guy a long time ago because he didn't wash his hands while fucking with chicken. Like that, bro. That's salmonella just waiting to happen. No, but if he's also a fucking sexist, bro, that's just salmonella waiting to happen on purpose.
Sex pest. To be specific, but yes, a form of sexism, yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was Mario Batali. Because his Good Eats episode came out like a week before, not Good Eats, his Hot Ones episode, sorry, came out a week before it dropped, the news broke, and like they pulled that shit immediately. Like, I think it was up for like 2 days. I think people got to watch it and then it's disappeared.
In an online newsletter Friday afternoon, celebrity chef Mario Batali, facing allegations that he touched women inappropriately, acknowledged, quote, many mistakes and apologized for disappointing, quote, my friends, my family, my fans, and my team. My behavior was wrong and there are no excuses. I take full responsibility, the message reads. Sharing the joys of Italian food, tradition, and hospitality with all of you each week is an honor and privilege. Without the support of all of you, my fans, I would never have a forum in which to expound on this. I will work every day to regain your respect and trust. Then he added a postscript. P.S. In case you're searching for a holiday-inspired breakfast, these pizza dough cinnamon rolls are a fan favorite, with a link and photo to the recipe.
What the fuck, dude? That is not the play. You don't apologize for being a sex pest and be like, I'm sorry I inappropriately touched women and made them feel uncomfortable while using my status as a white male with a TV show over them.
No. He's a POC.
Here's some pizza balls.
Person of carbonara.
Oh my god.
God's sake.
Anti-Italian I can't even say.
Jesus fucking Christ, Xander. How long have you been holding that one in for?
39 episodes.
The second we pulled up Mario Batali. No, but like fucking here's some pizza ball Christmas snacks. Like no.
The one I can't stand that I don't think she's done anything wrong is the one who does Beth at Contessa.
Who?
I have no idea who that is.
She's like boomer-aged white woman.
My brain wanted to say something Sandra, but like
boomer-aged white woman who puts lobster in mac and cheese. Like, my lady, 1, I can't eat it anymore thanks to the allergy. 2, like, who the fuck puts lobster in mac and cheese?
Is that the
fuck?
Is that the prairie bitch?
Ina Garten, that's her name.
It's not the prairie bitch. No, the prairie bitch is the one who's always drunk.
What was her name? The what woman?
Sandy something.
The Pioneer
Sandy O.
Woman? Is that her name?
Yeah, she's always drunk as shit or anything like that.
My mom hated her.
like-
My mom hated her so much. She would hate watch that bitch. And she would be like screaming at the TV, like, "Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! I hate you so much!" And it'd be like fucking 2 in the afternoon. I'm like, "Mom, what?" She's like, "I hate this motherfucker so much." She's like, "Turn the channel." She's like, "No, then I can't hate her."
We used to give my brother shit because he had a crush on Rachel Ray when he was younger. Which, to be fair, she's fine.
Okay, whoa. You could put up with her like calling things stupid nicknames instead of their actual fucking names.
I never watched a single episode of Rachel Ray, and I have face blindness disease with her, so I don't even remember what she looks like.
I tried once, and like I got so fucking annoyed within 15 minutes. She wouldn't call it olive oil; it was EVO. And like her idea of cooking, it was like, yeah, we're gonna make a salsa dip for a party tonight. She took a little bit of lime juice and a jar of off the shelf salsa, put the lime juice in the salsa, mixed it, and went, and now we just made a fresh lime flavored salsa. And I'm like,
EVO wouldn't even be the proper thing anyway, because there should be 2 O's, and if she was gonna do that,
she would say EVO.
She should call it EVOO, because EVOO is, you might as well just fucking say extra virgin olive oil. That's the same exact amount of fucking syllables. It's not the same exact amount of syllables. It's the same exact amount of effort, though. At least I caught that before I had to fucking correct that in the edit.
like I watched a lot of Food Network when I first moved out here because like I don't have cable anymore because like I'm not a fucking boomer. But like I watched a lot of it when I first moved out here because or even when I was first like visiting here because it was something to do particularly when wife was at work. And like I quite like a lot of Food Network. I must admit, like some days 12 hours watching Cutthroat Kitchen is a personal favorite of mine just because I quite like watching people panic and have to work out what to do in the moment. You guys watch Cutthroat Kitchen?
I will just watch diners, dive-ins, and drives just all damn day if I can.
I thoroughly recommend Cutthroat Kitchen, Devon. Actually, I think you would love it. You and Ale would actually love it. The concept, but it's hosted by Alton Brown, so you know it's going to be a banger. 4 chefs go in with each $10,000, and they have to cook for each session within half an hour, you know, a certain dish. Sounds pretty familiar, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the catch. Every 5 or so minutes, Brown will wheel out some kind of obstacle or challenge or hindrance, and they had to bid on it and give it to each other. And
I remember that. Like, I've seen bits of Cutthroat Kitchen, so I'm aware of that aspect of it. That's really neat. No,
so good.
Here's the thing.
So good.
I don't watch TV anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't. Like I say that I'm in the middle of watching Seinfeld. I'm streaming that. That's different. I don't sit through fucking TV like commercials and shit anymore because like I think I talked about this, but like after you brought up the fact that American commercials are mostly like
I can't stand them,
are crazy and a bunch of medicine, bro. I sat there and I was like, I wonder if that was right. It was just 3 fucking minutes of like ads saying like, how does your penis work? Here's some medication for that. Do you have HIV? Here's medication for that. Are you depressed? Here's medication for that. Here's a Charmin commercial.
Too depressed to wipe your ass. Here's Charmin.
It's like, and then they're like, and this is for your fucking antihistamines. Take this. And it's just like, can I watch the show? Like, bro, no, I get it. People hate ads, and that's fine. I hate them too. I mean, my the grocery store I work at, you know, I get a lot of complaints about the ads that our grocery store provides with its with products. So like, I completely understand, but like,
it's when you realize that the American advertisements in particular are so fucking bad. You kind of like go,
they're the worst.
Because back home, like, don't get me wrong, they're not great, but they at least... There's a lot more rules that you can't advertise prescription medication for a start. I feel like international ads, like outside of the States, also at least try to be... I think they've worked out the best way to be memorable is to be funny. So a lot of them will actually try to have, like, make you laugh or whatever, have like a little cackle.
Bro, when Flyer showed me those Japanese ones with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I about lost my mind. I was like, what the fuck is this?
The Hulk Hogan one with him singing fa la 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 for an air conditioning one is amazing.
I had no clue what was going on, but I'm just like, you know what?
I want to buy an air conditioner right now.
I want an air conditioner in my
and I have central air.
Yeah, same. But yeah, no, ads fucking suck, and I don't care if they're funny. They suck.
There's a couple I don't mind. There's a couple well, from back home, like ones growing up, I don't mind.
I would just like to let the audience at home know that I am the contrarian opinion on the Food Network. I cannot sit there and watch a bunch of food things over and over. I like DDD in concept, and I can watch an episode here or there. But one of my least favorite things of all time is just leaving Food Network on the TV, because my mom used to do that, and I just hated it. And I hate it. So
the problem with a lot of it is it's perfect binge content, isn't it? Because you can just leave it on.
you know what else is perfect binge content? Castlevania, the animated series on Netflix.
Yeah, but I feel like you got to pay attention to that. Like, I can leave like Iron Chef on and like coming out of episodes partway through.
The entirety of season 3, all of it. I binged it, start to back, without getting up. And okay, this is too much information. Trigger warning. I'm gonna talk about my penis. Fucking, I jerked off from beginning of series to end of series, and came right at the end entire time, and I still managed to understand what was going on.
All right. So I've been watching Seinfeld on Netflix. Anyway, we butchered that. I'm sorry. I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld. I didn't fucking realize. So first and foremost, I didn't realize that there were like multi-episode arcs in Seinfeld that did callbacks to earlier shit. I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on now. And I actually like, okay, so like the first season of Seinfeld, I couldn't give a flying fuck about. I was so bored. I was so bored watching it. But it picked up and it got so much better, and I've been really enjoying it. And then I said something on stream a few days ago when I was building my God Gundam. I said, okay, so like, real talk, I'm really enjoying Seinfeld, and something about Seinfeld, the way that they were talking, the way they were acting in that day and age, made me be like, you know, I think, and this might be a controversial opinion or hot take, but I think that Always Sunny is kind of like the modern Seinfeld.
No, it's because I've heard people make that comparison before, actually.
Okay, cool, because it's just like, I know it's not like new breaking information. Random white guy on the internet thinks that Always Sunny is this.
Thought that no one's ever had before. Right here on the Insert Title Here show.
Yeah, the only show to not even have the mental fortitude to come up with an actual name. Like,
hey, if the lawyers ask, it's the horse.
Yeah, no, it's the horse. It's always been the horse.
It's the horse incorporated.
Psyche. It's the horse. Yeah, it's the horse. Anyways, so like I was watching it, and that's what my brain went to. Like, and you gotta think, like, Seinfeld is like influential enough to not only have like its own set of jokes that people still make to this day, like with the "I'm out" like that joke, like you know.
I made one actually today. I was at the grocery store near me, the actual grocery store. There has some candles there now, like a seasonal thing. One of them's called The Beach. I'm like, oh, Kramer's owed $5.
That's my thing. Yeah, no, and like, but like, it's so influential that like, there's even a scene in Always Sunny where the guys think they're all Jerry except for Charlie, who thinks he's Kramer, which
you get it now.
It's hilarious. I get it now because it's just like Charlie is like is like Kramer if Kramer was like half his size and also an Irishman and not, you know, whatever Kramer is.
Irish.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane, and then just seeing the parallels between the two series, it's just like, okay, these characters are fucking like massive pieces of shit. And I'm not talking to Always Sunny cast. I'm talking the Seinfeld cast. Like they are. Assholes.
Oh yeah, Jerry Seinfeld dates 17-year-olds.
How close are you to the end, by the way, Devon? Because the ending of that series is amazing.
I can give you a rough estimate of where I'm at. But like, yeah, no, they're just a bunch of assholes. Like they're just like the biggest douchebags on the planet. Yeah, I'm on season 6. Episode 9.
You're not quite there yet, then. But the finale is fucking. It split people in half when it came out. Apparently, I watched it. Finally, got all the way there, and I thought it was the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah, but it's just so funny.
Convincing.
It's so funny watching because like they are just like the shittiest people, and they will like get involved with people and just like completely fuck them over like the most like mundane or irrelevant things. It's just so shitty, and like you guys are just terrible people. But then it's just like that's what they could get away with back in the 90s. Because if you think about it, like if you had to do Always Sunny, you couldn't do half the raunchy shit they get away with. Like on Always Sunny back then, like there's no way in hell.
Oh yeah, and like I don't know, like some of the jokes as well, they're very of their time. Like the New York Parking Authority jokes. Like there's the guy in the apartment complex. They pay to literally move their cars twice a day.
The yogurt being fat-free episode is entirely hinged on the fucking the fat phobia fucking pandemic that we had, where it was like, let's replace all the fat with sugar.
Yes, and then the best part was like literally 2 years after the episode aired, there was this huge scandal in New York City with like a really popular yogurt place that we cannot name for legal reasons because they are very litigious, who got the lid blown off of them because it turns out their fat-free yogurt wasn't at all, and they were completely full of poop.
Yeah, and it also turns out that replacing all your fat with sugar is actually fucking worse.
Yeah, it was just amazing, and like how weirdly accurate and predicted, how it kind of like was so in tune that I was able to kind of predict that kind of nonsense.
Crazy. But yeah, it's just going back and watching it and going through it for the first time makes me really wish I'd paid attention to it back when I was younger, because like my cousins, the ones I used to hang out with all the time, they loved Seinfeld. Like, oh my, like I remember one of my cousins making jokes, like Seinfeld really jokes all the time, and it's like he's the reason why I was like I even pretend to do a Jerry Seinfeld voice. Because speaking of, fucking Gilbert Gottfried used to do like an amazing Jerry Seinfeld impression. In fact, they used him on the Clerks cartoon show. Yeah, there's an episode where Jerry Seinfeld walks in. Where's the bathroom? And he like walks in.
He literally says, "I'm Jerry Seinfeld."
Yeah, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. I thought it was Jerry Seinfeld. It's just like restrooms in the back. You know, it was Gilbert Gottfried doing an impression. It's just like, what the fuck? So, but like, it's just weird. It's just weird seeing like all of this stuff, that these jokes that I've heard that I now understand because like I missed out on it when I was younger. It's very weird.
Walk around the parking lot in the mall trying to find the car with Elaine holding the fucking fish in the bag. Just,
it's so good.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
And they'll just have whole episodes about just random stuff. But I love the episodes that like make a joke at the beginning and it branches out and weaves back into that joke. It was really good.
Oh my god.
I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it. I know how it ends, but I don't know how it ends, I guess I should say. Like, I'm aware of what happens.
The reason they get where they end up is so fucking Seinfeld it hurts.
I have to check it out. I'll look forward to watching it. But yeah, that's why I've been watching on Netflix, because it's just, I need something on when I'm at work, because it's like 10 to 15 minutes between calls. It's perfect enough time to pound out episodes of whatever. Like, I finished like how many Gundam series for working from home? Like,
yeah, I get you, because I also work from home, and I typically put on YouTube stuff. Depending on the day of the week or what's on, I also put on like sports content. Like, just because of the time difference, I can get the European football going pretty easily. Depending as to what day of the week, of course, it is, and who's playing, if I even want to bother. But like the thing I also put on these days is like long form content. And I don't mean like video essays, because I don't think I pay too much attention to. But I'll put on like I don't know if you guys watch any other podcasts or anything, but Trash Taste is a favorite of mine. Mostly because it's two Brits and an Australian, like making fun of Americans a lot. So of course
most Americans won't be able to understand the difference between the accents when they're together either.
Yeah, that's the fucked up part. But like yeah, that's a fun one I watch, and I watch a lot of other stuff. I did try putting a movie on the other day, and I'm like, oh no, I like way too engaged in my grocery store duties to pay attention to this.
I've gone through a couple of movies working at the grocery store from home, and the one that actually I really enjoyed and again, this is like another first time watch for me, was The Truman Show.
Best
had
Jim Carrey
never-
film.
Yeah, I had never watched that film before. I didn't know what it was about, and I really didn't have an interest in watching it. And then when I did watch it, I ended up very much enjoying it. Like, I say what you want about Jim Carrey now with his opinions on
A lot of things.
But he was a really great actor. Like his serious roles, his funny roles are both very good.
He's amazing in that as well, just because he's losing his damn mind. Like, the thing that always kills me whenever I fucking watch it is like him signing off and being like, "Good morning," and in case I don't see you, "Good afternoon, good evening, and good night." And then and he just walks off. I'm like, that's fucking perfect.
Yeah, especially at the end, that being his last line too. It's very very interesting. So it is a film that caught me by surprise, and I thoroughly enjoyed. Like, you don't really get to see films like that anymore. Like, people don't really make those kind of films, and it's kind of just it was a nice change of pace. I'm looking forward to watching other stuff, honestly, because I think I'm done with my Marvel phase. I'm done with this superhero stuff, because it's like Stephen Strange, Sorcerer Supreme Man movie came out like today or yesterday. I'm just like,
me, or did we lose Devon and Xander?
I'm not gonna watch it.
Stick around and find out.
Adam, I can hear
Adam,
both you and
frozen.
Devon.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, let's just wait for him.
I'm not sure
Okay.
what's
He
going
keeps
on.
talking.
Daddy.
We can hear him.
Daddy. Discord. Da-da.
We could also type.
Xander, I'm apologizing now because I know you got that.
We could also just type in the chat.
What is going on? Are you just not working?
There we go.
Technical.
Can you hear us now?
Is it my internet?
Can you hear us now?
Oh, no, the internet's working. Okay, I'm back. I just made sure my internet was still working throughout all of that. It was, and I'm not sure what Discord did, but it just went. Boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
we could hear you the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was recording, so at least you got that.
Yeah.
I was going, Daddy.
Yeah, I could hear. We could hear you the entire time.
We could hear you the entire time.
Sorry, bud.
It's okay.
But you're saying your Marvel phase.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with watching Marvel movies, because just like, okay, I'm done with this. Like, I might catch it because it's Sam Raimi and I like his films, like, unironically, but like, no, it's not my first priority to watch. But like, there's other things I want to watch now, and other films I want to watch. I want to enjoy these new things,
That's fair. But like, yeah, I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm working. I also put a lot of Twitch streams on. Like, I don't think it's any secret. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers recently. Yeah, and
But Xander, what were you gonna say?
Was I gonna say something?
Oh, you look like you're gonna say something.
The only thing I would say is that I'm not like done with superhero films inherently. The Batman was fucking amazing.
need to watch that still. Need to watch that.
I'm just done with Disney. Disney fucking sucks.
I wish I could be the same, honestly. I genuinely do, but my situation with my grocery store.
I'll be honest. I've been kind of done with Marvel since Endgame. Like, don't get me. I thought it was a nice little bookend.
I thought Infinity War was the better ending, honestly.
Well, we've been on this route before, but like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I felt like I was done with it, and then we had the pandemic and a couple of nice years break, and now I'm kind of like, so what else you guys got?
No, I just
Like, you got something different?
it's just creative burnout at this point. It doesn't matter how good they are. It's all fucking Disney. It's all Kevin Fucker's goddamn hands in the pie. It's all focus tested, mandated. We did the fucking pre-visual FX before we even got the director bullshit going on. It's like all the people talking. This is most definitely the most unique movie. It's you can see the Sam Raimi. No, you fucking can't. No, you fucking can't. It's I watched it on a service. But no, it's a fucking Marvel movie. It's a fucking MCU movie. It's a fucking pre-visualized fucking studio mandated fucking film. And Wanda still fucking sucks. I'm sorry. I'm tired of Disney.
That's actually a really good point. Getting to some film study stuff here. There's a theory of authorship in cinema, right? well, that you always know you're watching a certain director's work by certain visual cues or by certain dialogue cues or anything like that. So, perfect example of this, actually, Sam, I haven't seen the new one. I'll probably watch eventually. I do quite like Sam Raimi. But Sam Raimi's a phenomenal example of this because Sam Raimi loves the reverse zoom shot. If you don't know what I'm on about, basically the action is actually performed in reverse. The camera's then zooms right out, and then when you flip it back, it looks like the camera's zooming right in, and the action is playing in the correct speed. He does it a lot in the Evil Dead trilogy, does it a lot in his Spider-Man films, does it a lot in Drag Me to Hell as well. It's a really cool technique of his. He really loves it. He also very much, of course, likes the close-up scream zoom out thing, which is just him in a nutshell. The man loves a good optical zoom. Another good example would be like Tim Burton. Like, you always know when you're watching a Tim Burton film, right? Always. Like, it doesn't matter fucking what you're watching. You can spend 5 minutes going, this is a Tim Burton joint. There's an argument to be made for Spike Lee as well. There's an argument to be made for Ingmar Bergman. There's an argument to be made for a lot of different people. But my problem with a lot of these like films we're seeing nowadays, particularly these big monster monolithic ones which are very focused acid, is that we're kind of going back to the way we had things in the 1920s and 30s when the studio basically held more power than the director. And it's kind of erasing that. Like, a lot of these kind of features you're seeing are kind of gone. Like, for as much as they kind of sucked, and like they sucked irrevocably, I will give the Snyder films one thing. You knew very quickly it was a Snyder film. It very much had the Snyder look to it. He very much had this kind of camera angle.
Yeah, that distinct sheen of filth and garbage.
Yeah, like, as much as we meme on it, like, you know what I mean? At least it was something to look at. J.J. Abrams, like, you know, don't get me wrong, his 2 Star Wars films could be a lot better. But particularly, a Star Trek film's a better example of it, where he has that really... He loves doing this shot where something's falling, and the camera kind of slowly zooms in on it, focuses and stabilizes as the thing's falling through the sky. He's done it in, like, every fucking thing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about him doing lens flares, because like, that motherfucker loves him in lens flare too.
Lens flare was a Star Trek thing, but yeah, I think the reason there was so many in Into Darkness after the first Star Trek film was basically stuff. One of these right back going fuck off, and it's a really nice big one in the first Star Wars film. He's like,
I don't know if this is a controversial opinion now, but I love that first Star Trek movie.
It's not really
it's not controversial at all. That's amazing.
I feel like people have gone back retroactively and acted like it sucks because it's like it's not so much of a Star Trek, but like I don't feel like. Okay, sorry, tangent. I have to. Into Darkness sucks, but in a way that I still enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy the characters, I enjoy the acting, I enjoy like the filmmaking of it, but it to me it does con wrong, and that's why it sucks to me. It takes an already established thing and fucks it up in my head, but. I still like the performances. Never saw the third one, unfortunately, even though that one's supposed to be like really good.
Very good, Same,
in my head because fucking Simon Pegg wrote it. I didn't actually look at the reviews for it. But I feel like with how bad the new Star Trek has been, like this last season of fucking Picard, dude. Holy shit! Why am I doing this to myself?
I haven't watched any of it, to be fair.
Don't, Adam. You did the right thing.
I wasn't.
You did the right thing.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I'm not shouting at you because I'm like trying to prevent you. I'm congratulating you. You did what I should have done, and what I did do with Halo this time. So with Halo, I watched that first episode and went, no, you know what? No, just no.
Yeah, just don't.
I stopped commenting on it. I didn't even rant about the first episode that much. I was like, nope, just you know what? Not even me. We're just gonna move on from that. I should have done that with this. Unfortunately, I both like the Next Generation too much because right after Homelessness, it was like a real big comfort thing for me. And I also extremely love the original series because when G4 ran the remaster stuff with like the trivia shit and all the like the borders around it that got you like the in-depth detail and shit, me and my dad would just stay up late and just watch that during one summer. It was super cool. And like I think I also talked about how Wrath of Khan was the first Star Trek thing I ever saw as a kid, and I hated it as a kid because I was a boring, stupid kid. But I just distinctly remember watching it and eating sauerkraut because it was the new year. So like Star Trek is like this important thing to me, and I want to give people who are giving it the continuance of it a shot. But they keep getting Alex fucking Kurtzman to fucking write every single one of these series. Star Trek Discovery, Alex fucking Kurtzman. Star Trek Picard, Alex fucking Kurtzman. You know what the fuck Alex Kurtzman also wrote? Fucking Transformers 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. He has not written a good movie ever. He was attached, and his contributions too The Amazing Spider-Man 2 are the things that don't work about that movie. That's right, Devon. Yes, Devon. Alex Kurtzman is why we have to blame for the death of our spider. He wrote The Mummy. The Tom Cruise one.
Oh! Brendan Fraser was slighted.
Alex Kurtzman then went on to write Picard Season 1. And I'm going to spoil this. In Picard Season 1, everything sucks somehow. And the Federation now says fuck everywhere. And it's all dystopian. And everybody's angry. And for some reason, Picard's a capitalist, even though capitalism doesn't exist. And he owns a wine thing. And people will go, fuck you, Picard. You fucked up fucking up the fuck. And whatever. And so then he goes on a journey that boils down to Mass Effect. This progenitor robot race is going to come and destroy everything. And he's got to stop it, right? And then he dies. He dies? Yeah, he dies. He dies. But he comes back to life in a synthetic robot body. But the synthetic robot body is programmed to die when Picard naturally would have died anyway. So, yeah, it's completely pointless season there. The season.
Wait.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait. What the fuck? Why would you build a synthetic robot to die?
Yeah, exactly. So season 2 opens up.
I'm sorry.
Also Data dead, but he died in Nemesis and shit. So the setup for season 1 is he's still reeling from the death of Data and also the destruction of Romulus, because the 2009 Star Trek film is canon to this universe. Remember, because Spock goes back in time and creates that alternate universe because he fucks up and Nero goes back with him. And so in the Prime universe with the Next Generation and all that shit happened. And so the Romulus blew up. This takes place after all of this events and shit, because Picard's an old fuck at this point. And fucking, yeah. So, cool. You have a dude literally murder a person with a sword in the middle of a town, and nothing happens. People saying fuck everywhere. A bunch of people dying, and there's no hope. There's no good. There's none of the Star Trek. It's just dystopian. It's generic dystopian sci-fi bullshit. So Alex Kurtzman goes, okay, that's a valid criticism. Okay, cool. So we'll forget that season 1 happened at all. Except, I guess, the robot part. But we'll conveniently forget that sometimes. But not all the time. But he bleeds blood now. But okay. So then it opens up, and they're like, hey, Picard, on your wine thing, can you go on the spaceship and go contact these guys who went missing? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then Borg Queen pops up, and Borg Queen's like, hey, I'm gonna assimilate y'all. And they're like, no. And then they trap Borg Queen, and Borg Queen's like, ugh. And then a temporal thing happens somehow. Oh yeah, Q does it. So Q pulls them out of their timeline for some reason. I forget. He pulls them out of the timeline that they were just in into an alternate dystopian timeline, because apparently the one we were just in that was now dystopian isn't dystopian anymore. So we have to create an alternate timeline, like a mirror universe, but it isn't the mirror universe, to put them in. I'm going on a Star Trek rant. God fucking damn. I'm sorry, guys, but whatever. Fucking.
That's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. 'Cause I don't even watch Star Trek. It's just.
I've.
Star Trek has a way of coming into my life.
So my partner loves Star Trek so much and has not watched these new series, and in an effort to make sure that they never watch these new series and that I don't ever ruin Star Trek for them, I refuse to rant about how much I hate these to them. So this is the only time I've been able to do this. So this is like fucking coming. This is like coming after 28 years of not having sex. So like November. Fucking. So fucking
No, not November. Failed.
Oh, I did fail November. That's okay. That's amazing. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, Picard sucks. So fucking they're in this alternate timeline now because Q's like, I'm gonna do a thing. I'm losing my powers, and you're gonna do this thing. And then they're like, what? So they're fascists. Picard is like a fascist in this timeline. So they're inhabiting their bodies as if like they're the people that are fascist and bad. And the entire government is fascist and bad. And then they're like, oh shit, well this sucks. So then they open a time rift because all right, so are you following me here? So Picard's a robot.
No, I'm fucking lost as hell.
So we're gonna recap real quick. Picard's a robot. They get captured by the Borg Queen and everybody's about to die. But then Q pulls them into an alternate future, right? alternate universe. And then in that alternate universe, in order to prevent that alternate universe, they go back in time. So he's a robot who's been pulled into an alternate universe who then went back in time. Yes, Alex Kurtzman is an amazing writer, and is proof of why I say never trust an Alex, because anybody who decides to go by the name Alex is a fucking cretin, is fucking scum. So they go back in time to 2024, right? To 2024, when the Irish unification is supposed to happen and all this other shit happens, and then they do this shot down an alley of like homeless people, like fucking like in an alley, that you could tell they didn't get the budget to actually shoot a lot of homeless people, so it's 3 homeless people in an alley that's framed to try to make it look like it's a homeless crisis. And they're like, yeah, things are really bad, and it's all your fault, Picard. So then they have to find Picard's ancestor in the 2024, because she's got to go to space, but she's scared of something, but she's not supposed to be scared, because Picard did a speech about how his mommy was brave at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Also, the Borg Queen is now in Kim Pine's brain, because Kim Pine from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is playing a lady in this. Yeah, so the Borg Queen is now in Kim Pine's brain. The Borg Queen's in Kim Pine's brain. Kim Pine from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is in this movie. The actress who plays her who plays Kim Pine.
A movie that's written and directed by a good director.
So she's in this, and the Borg Queen is inside her brain now. Inside her brain, and she is somehow mentally adept enough to not be taken over by the Borg Queen, and so she goes to get drunk and stuff. Cool. Also, the lady Kim Pine was in the previous series, and she murdered a bunch of people and was evil and murdered a bunch of people. Just broke laws, murdered, slaughtered. Horrible person. No consequences. She's cool now. She's in Starfleet, but now she has Borg Queen in her brain. So they're trying to figure out what's going on, and they figure out that Picard's ancestor has to die or something, but then she also has to not die. But because she dies, the bad thing happens, but she has to die or time collapses. This is Alex Kurtzman writing, so I'm confused at this point. I don't know what's going on.
This is stupid.
Also,
this is the stupidest thing you've ever talked about, and I've heard you talk about.
They also had Whoopi Goldberg's character from The Next Generation come back, but for some reason she was aged up, and they were like, oh, so actually we can decide to become old when we want to. So that's added to the lore. Whoopi Goldberg's character, who was always young throughout the entirety of everything, she could age up at will. That's stupid and pointless, but I just thought I'd share that with you because Adam looks really really into this. He's really enthralled in Alex Kurtzman's lore here. So then
I've literally broken out.
Then a bunch of stuff happens, and Q's losing his powers for reasons, and everything sucks, and the whole series is bad, and nothing matters. And then at the end of it, Data is playing a character who's not Data, but a scientist who is descended from the guy who creates Data or something, and he's abusing his daughter, or he's curing his daughter. I can't remember. And then that doesn't matter at the end of the series. And then Borg Queen in Kim Pine's brain's like, hey, I want to take over. And then Kim Pine's like, no, but what if we made a new collective that instead of is based on assimilation is based on cooperation? And Borg Queen's like, huh, good idea. I never thought of that. So then Kim Pine Borg Queen,
What?
So then Kim Pine Borg Queen leaves to go do that. And then the finale happens. And I'm going to be honest, I don't fucking remember what happened during the finale, except none of it mattered. And now the Next Generation cast is regrouping for season 3, which is going to be the series finale. And the last 2 seasons of Picard haven't mattered. And guess who's writing season 3? Alex Kurtzman. It just keeps going, baby.
Okay. I'm sorry. When you were talking about how he's a robot that dies, the first thing that came to my
thanks for
brain
bringing
was
that
like
back
that
up.
post.
Because he gets shot by something and then almost dies in this, and then he bleeds normal blood. And then he gets taken to a normal hospital instead of an android guy because they forget he's a robot. But then later on, they remember he's a robot, but then forget he's a robot again. So yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks. It's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. It's worse than.
No, I was gonna say because like you're talking about how he's a robot that can die. My brain immediately thought that post where the person's like, I made a robot that can scream, and then it just screams. It's just like, why? And the guy's like, Like that, like that's the same fucking energy.
Because to make him immortal is to rob him of his experience as human. I don't know. I don't fucking care. Fun fact: Red Letter Media reviewed the first season of Picard, And then a bunch of fans simultaneously were talking to William Shatner on Twitter to try to get him to like talk with Red Letter Media or do a thing with him, because like Macaulay Culkin and other celebs have like done it and like legitimized them and stuff. And then William Shatner goes and watches a clip from an episode of one of their Picard things and misinterprets it as fucking Mike bullying Patrick Stewart for being old. It's like, I will not go on a show that would bully a great actor like Patrick Stewart for being old, and implying that he shouldn't be acting anymore because he's too... which wasn't what was going on at all. But then the fans kept making it worse because they kept trying to go, no, like, here's this, and they keep showing things out of context and making it worse, and it was the most hilarious fucking thing I've ever seen. So then they accidentally started beef between William Shatner and Red Letter Media.
No.
It was fucking amazing.
To be fair, I feel like William Shatner started Twitter beef with just about everybody.
He just misunderstood what was happening.
Good lord. But how does Star Trek keep coming back into my life? By the way?
CBS.
Like, since I was a kid.
That's why. CBS.
That'll do it.
I don't mean like CBS, I meant like the fan base.
Oh, I don't know
about that.
Fun fact, I have an IMDb page because I was on the longest running Star Trek fan series.
Oh, right. I don't know why I always
that's
just
one of the
forget
jokes.
that. There was a whole episode where I went into your lore, and I was amazed by that. And what?
Star Trek Unity, look it up. Like, yeah, like there's a fun fact about the Adam Deep lore.
The lore we're
Yeah.
already aware of, yes.
But yeah, like, I don't know, I've never really watched Star Trek. It's just so funny how it like always finds a way to come back into my life somehow.
Okay, I have also never watched Star Trek, but there is one piece of Star Trek media that holds a very special place in my heart.
Is it
and that's-
Pender's Sonic Comics?
No, it's literally Star Trek. Shut up. There is a part in the original Star Trek where I guess Spock and Kirk are fighting, and it's like on Spock's home planet, and his mom's involved or whatever. It's I don't know. It's a weird episode. My cousins did like a riff track live dub sort of thing on it.
Yeah.
And it is just unironically, I think it's one of the funniest things I've watched. It's not great, but I love it. I love watching it, and it's just I'm gonna get real for a moment. It's like the only way I get to listen to my cousin's voice anymore after he passed away. So it's very it means a lot to me. I've never watched that episode. I like to imagine the way that they voice the episodes, how the episode goes. So that's just my brain.
We gotta do something like that, but with Kirk fighting the Gorn.
Oh, okay. Unironically, Kirk versus the Gorn is the scene I always reference, and people always like when I start it, like fucking, are like, oh god, he's gonna like make fun of Star Trek or whatever. No, I genuinely, with all my fucking heart, love the Gorn scene so fucking much. It is one of the most pure, unabashed, just fucking like beautiful things I have ever seen.
I've never seen it, but I just pulled it up to see it, and it's just, what the fuck is happening?
He's fighting the Gorn.
What he threw the stick away, his weapon away, and now it's just like he's getting in a fight.
Fighting the Gorn.
Okay.
The Star Trek video game that tied into the J.J. Abrams films between 2009 and Into Darkness was basically fighting the Gorns in like the J.J. reboot universe, and that was something. That game is awful, by the way. That game is like just complete.
You said
fucking
something
trash.
I was about to be like good something, and you said that game was awful. I was like, oh damn it.
No, I mean like that game came out the same year as Colonial Marines, and I had a hard time deciding which was worse. Colonial Marines is definitely worse, by the way, just because of the everything around it. But like, it was that bad. It was.
Did you see a
genuinely
couple
that
years
bad.
back they figured out to fix some of the AI problems? It was just there was an error. There was a typo in the
Oh, yeah,
INI
like-
file.
Yep, because they changed literally 1 0 to a 1.
I fucking hate Gearbox, dude.
Didn't that fix like a huge bunch of problems or whatever?
It fixed not all of them. There's a lot of them which just straight up just weren't even there in the first place. Like things they promised I mean they weren't in the first place. The lighting being the main thing, but that would be a whole episode in itself.
Right.
Maybe-
We're almost at the 2-hour mark for this one. So,
Yep. maybe in February it'll be the 10-year anniversary in February. So I think me and Xander in February should just go off for a day.
You should
fucking go off.
You
like a
both
3 hour
should.
episode, we just fucking go off.
Maybe we should go so far as to do just a fucking like dual live stream or some shit, or we force ourselves to play it.
I'd watch it.
Well, because
not it. I played that game twice through now. Once for pain.
come on,
once
we
for
could use it as an
content.
excuse for people to give us money. You love money. I love money.
I've never
Xander-
played it. I've never played it myself, so
No, that means Devon should be the one to play.
Okay, fine.
Because we need the true virgin reaction.
Me and Devon
to
will
it.
co-op it.
Like Xander, I smashed it. Okay, there is video evidence of me smashing it with an axe.
Devon, you remember the original version of Insert Title Here, we did an episode of Colonial Marines, or tried to, and when I was recording it, the game fucking entirely crashed, and I fucking started screaming so fucking intensely that it, like, the fucking goddamn USB microphone we were using at the time fucking clipped so hard that I had to unplug it and plug it back in because it just refused to fucking register anything out all anymore. And after I plugged it back in, the first thing it recorded was you going and laughing your ass off because the game didn't fucking work no matter what I did. So we tried to play it in the original version of Insert Title Here. Join us for the 10-year anniversary of Aliens Colonial Marines, when me and Devon try to complete the prophecy and play through the shittiest fucking game of all time, and why I refuse to pre-order literally anything except Gundam.
You should play the PS3 version because that's probably the most stable available version. You could try the PC version. The problem is that the online just sucks.
I would just parsec it.
You could. It's an option. It's an option. I mean, would you believe me if I told you the 360 version is the most patched?
yes.
Yeah, I was about to ask, why is the 360 version not the one you're recommending on the console? Why is it the PS3 version?
Because the PS3 version, it has its own unique problems and bugs, because of course this game is bugged to shit, but it's probably the most stable in terms of game breaking and computer crashing or hardware crashing against the 360 problems. Which is not saying much.
I hate Randy Pitchford.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saved that squirt porn on the fucking work-related fucking flash drive because it was magic. It was a magic trick, see? Because it's a sleight of hand. She doesn't really have all that much squirt in her, but she makes you think she has that much squirt. And then right at the end, she squirts. She squirts her girl. Devon, I see your face right now and you think I'm making this up, but no. He left
really
a
not.
fucking thumb drive of porn at a medieval
times restaurant
that had squirt porn on it. And his defense wasn't, that's not mine. It was, of course it's mine. I'm a magician and squirt porn is magic. And I was trying to study how she did it, how she did her sleight of hand. Because I'm a magician and that was magic.
What's the magic trick, Randy? Making the money go away?
I mean, considering that he lost like a whole bunch of money in a scam not too long
He
ago.
lost the money.
Yeah, apparently
you mean
so.
he allegedly funneled it into fucking something that he would be able to get himself so his employees wouldn't be able to get it?
Okay, not to continue to dunk on this man, but the only thing I remember about Randall Bitchford is the whole battle board versus Overwatch thing.
Oh, fucking
That was
hell.
dead on fucking arrival.
My favorite thing about that
Oh
was
my
when fucking
God.
Kay fucking replied to her quote tweeted the fucking Battleborn tweet where it was just a bunch of buzzwords and then he started insulting her. Like literally, he actually started getting into a fucking Twitter fight with Kay. It was amazing.
I remember that. Oh my god. And then he's like, "Oh man, I just found this Rule 34 thread for Battleboard. Sure would suck if it got filled with Rule 34 and then like got filled with Overwatch porn." The funniest fucking thing. That game just got shit on. It's so funny.
The nickname for it was just perfect because from the beta it was clear it was going to be a shit show.
Do you remember when he
was the guy's name?
abused, harassed, and manipulated the voice of Claptrap? And then replaced him when he wouldn't bend to his will.
And that's why he did. Yeah.
Physically violent. Did you ever hear the nickname for Battleborn was though?
No.
Stillborn.
Still. Oh, fuck. That's okay.
I just remember walking into a Five Below and seeing like literally like a tub full of copies of it, right next to copies of Borderlands.
Oh, it's called Five Below.
That was how you know Gearbox was it.
Yeah.
Correct. $5 and below. Everything in there is like the maximum cost will be is $5 or under. and just like it was just troughs full of that copies of Borderlands, the pre-sequel, another fucking flop that was literally just made up of content from Borderlands 1 and 2. And just, I'm like, how the fuck are they still open? How the fuck is that still a thing? Borderlands 3 apparently was super underwhelming and didn't sell as well as they wanted it to as well. Like, it's like, how the hell is Gearbox still open? Then he goes, oh yeah, they're into publishing, and every single thing they publish, they ruin.
Didn't they bungle the fucking release of Borderlands 3 anyway?
I'm not sure of the details. I
guess that was part of the reason.
I know they bungled the final development of Hello Neighbor and it's basically forced out into what was still in beta.
MatPat GT, you should take a look at this. Yes, MatPat will enjoy this very much.
I think Borderlands launch technically was fine and it sold well and was considered a success, but I think the problem with that was it didn't sell enough to give money back. It didn't hit the profit share for the employees, and that was the controversy.
Yeah, like it didn't make its money, or something like that, or like it didn't hit its money in terms of production costs.
Yeah, because they were like,
it was successful in that it sold a bunch of copies, but it didn't go green. Basically, they never saw a profit on it.
The entire video game industry is fucking corrupt and horrible and broken top to bottom. But let's be fair, all labor industries at this point pretty much are. It's fucking terrible. But we like excuse it when it comes to the game stuff.
Yeah, you bringing back up the game stuff remind me of the joke I did at the beginning of this episode. 92% was not a joke, and the fact that Square Enix not only bought in, they sold a bunch of their IPs, Crystal Dynamics, to fucking further double down on the blockchain technology, and the value drops 92% the next fucking day. It fucking annihilated me. I cried laughing.
I need the new owners of the Deus Ex franchise to listen to me right the fuck now. This is not a request. This is a fucking demand. The next Deus Ex game that you make, and you will make one. You will make one.
Probably will.
Needs to be.
The people who own it now is THQ Nordic, but under a different name. So honestly, yeah, very likely they will do a new Deus Ex.
The third Adam Jensen game. I don't want a reboot. I don't want a new character. I don't want a fresh new take or a new perspective. I want the conclusion to the fucking storyline that was started in Human Revolution and left to be continued in Mankind Divided. I need that. I need that more than I need a nut. And I need a nut a lot. I need a nut so much that I'm probably going to come as I scream at you right now. That's how much I need that. Give that to me, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to Tomb Raider, because fuck Tomb Raider.
Well, the Tomb Raider games have been good.
Tomb Raider is just Uncharted with titties now. Tomb Raider used to be its own fucking thing where you actually raided fucking tombs and you ran around doing that shit. No, dude, it's literally just Uncharted with titties.
Yeah, the reboot ones, they were right. They're a bit more serious than the old ones were, but they're fine. Oh, we'll suit yourself. But yeah, the people who bought it are it's what is now what was THQ Nordic. So chance of a new Tomb Raider game obviously very high. Chance of a new Hitman game incredibly high. They bought Hitman before they bought anything else. Chance to do Deus Ex, I would say near about 100%. Probably will be a continuation because why you got the same studio? Why the hell not? What kills me is that Square Enix, the same day they do this stuff, they posted a $200 million loss in that Avengers game. $200 million.
And you would think a Marvel game would be a fucking slam dunk. But they had to go and fucking be greedy, stupid fucking bitches on it. Because Disney didn't mandate that they make it a fucking live service game. They didn't fucking mandate that at all.
They did, yeah. It was basically entirely Disney meddling.
I thought it was Square Enix meddling that fucking ruined that thing.
Disney meddling is going to ruin most things, i.e. my grocery store and Marvel Infinite.
But yeah, so I did some research with this myself because I was like, okay, there's got to be a story behind this now that things are kind of over, that things are leaking out. Square Enix kicked out of the door too early. That's why it was a complete fucking buggy mess. But welcome to fucking Square Enix. It's the same thing with No Water Titty on PC. But the live service thing was basically a demand by Disney that they wanted all products like this to have X amount of profitability. And they were just like, well, yeah, just put some other stuff in here to make it more profitable. Put some like microtransactions, like that Fortnite thing. We want you to be able to sell skins and stuff. That was apparently the word from the legalese coming down from the top.
Okay, that doesn't inherently make them forced into the same design that they chose, though. So I understand the profit motive, and there was going to be microtransactions and stuff in there, but the way they implemented that specific live service, the essentially single-player game where you're forced to queue up with other people in a co-op and playing by yourself and blah, 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 that shit... Whoever the fuck decided that one, Disney, Square, whoever the fuck, that's why you fucked up on that one.
Yeah.
It's the fundamental flaw to that game was the design.
What kills me about it is knowing how much money they lost on it now. Like, I'm sorry, you literally got the biggest IP at the time. I mean, like, the biggest fucking entertainment IP at the time. They sold a lot of copies as well. Like, they genuinely did sell a lot of copies, and they posted a $200 million loss. Just put this in fucking context, right? The average Marvel film budget is about $150 million. They lost an entire Marvel film and then some in money on that. What the fuck?
It's fucking bizarre, dude. Like, I was already like, maybe I don't want to buy any more Square games when they started doing the Marvel live service thing, Babylon's Fall live service thing. Although I think I heard something about I heard something about Platinum wanted it to be a live service to begin with, so that might not be Square's fault, but still, you know, that, and then fucking microtransactions and fucking Chocobo GP, a fucking goddamn battle pass to get characters. Or you have to pay fucking money. Oh, that shit's bad enough. I'm already like, why would I support this greedy shit? And then they go, let's do the blockchain, y'all, and start minting fucking NFTs, and then sell an entire fucking studio to invest in more blockchain bullshit. Nobody wants play to earn. That's called a fucking job. Jobs fucking suck. Fuck you, you dumb fucks. Final Fantasy 16 is in the content complete stages. It's going to start spinning up its media apparatus soon and release within the next year. And I cannot buy it. I thought maybe Square would see the writing on the wall with the 92% shit dip, but they still sold their shit and they still intend to fucking invest in blockchain. Because they don't fucking care. Square is going to destroy itself. I don't even have to steal its fucking games at this point. That's fucking depressing.
He's right.
And on that depressing note, the good news is that Crystal Dynamics is now free.
Eidos Montreal. Adam Jensen 3. Please.
Yeah, you got, before we end this episode, because it has been 2 hours now, there's actually something really fucking cool related to one of my favorite things right now. I spoke to Devon about this. So, funny thing, the two Berserk games that were published in the West, right, were both the first one, was published by Eidos, right? And the company who just bought them, I forget the name of it, was THQ Nordic, also now owns Dark Horse, who published Berserk in the West. Now, I'm not saying it could happen, however, since you have fucking Eidos in your catalog now, and you have the Western distribution rights to Berserk, can we maybe please get like an HD remaster of the Dreamcast game, and maybe can we finally get the PS2 game in the West? Please? Pretty please? Please?
Who owns the video game license in America?
I don't actually know. It was Eidos. Who is now part of this new this. But
they own the current distribution license for Berserk-related video games in America?
I don't know they own the current distribution license for the video games. However, they do own Dark Horse, who owns the rights to distribute the actual manga in the States. So I can't imagine it being that hard of a leap to be able to get everything sorted out.
It depends, because like, obviously you would need the original publisher for the video game itself, but then you would also need, at least in America, the current distribution owner would have to then give their graces on that too.
It might be Sega, who I can't imagine, they'd be like against it, to be
Actually,
fair.
isn't it Sega? Because they released the Fist of the North Star one? What the fuck did I just say? Did I just have a stroke? I think I just had a stroke.
Yes. No, you're right. Sega released the Fist of the North Star, didn't they?
But that's a completely different franchise. So why did I bring up Fist of the North Star?
Because it's Dark Horse. It's published in the States by Dark Horse.
Yeah, but I don't they have two separate Japanese publishers?
The Fist of the North Star, you're thinking of the Lost Paradise? That's
Yeah,
Sega.
but I'm talking. Okay, so
the original publisher in Japan, yeah, for Berserker's Young Animal, and for Fist of the North Star, is it Shonen?
I have Fist of the North Star volumes right next to me. It's Viz.
That's
Viz
America.
Media.
It's Viz. Viz
is
are
America.
pretty.
What's the
Viz are
Japanese
pretty chill,
publisher?
so they could. I swear to God, it's Shonen Jump. Hang on, let me Google
okay,
it.
because Japan is different and stuff. But yeah, I don't know why me bringing up Fist of the North Star. My point here is that Fist of the North Star thing has nothing to do with Berserk because they're two different franchises. Even their Japanese origins would have nothing to do, and I don't know why my brain at all thought that they would be related to that.
It's Shonen Jump, by the way. It is Shonen Jump for Fist of the North Star. But Fist of the North Star is one of the things that inspired Berserk, in fact. But yeah, there's a little bit of hope around the Berserk community right now that we can get those two games like a modern version of them re-released, because there's only been 3 Berserk games, period. And those two, one only came out in Japan, the PS2 one, and the Dreamcast one is very rare, very hard to find, and very expensive.
The Berserk Muso, or however the fuck it is.
Oh yeah, that was Tecmo Koei, but who published that?
They might have the rights to the current license.
Berserk and the
That's what my brain was trying to do. I did have a stroke live on insert title here.
That was published by Koei Tecmo worldwide. So there's I don't know how long they had.
When
the
was that
license
published?
2016.
They might still have it then.
It's I can see Koei Tecmo being chill about working with them to get these games out. They might want a slice of the pie, but like, yeah, sure. I mean, no one else is making money off these old games right now. You know, why the hell not? Why the hell not?
All right, we should end the podcast because I'm in yelling mode. I just keep yelling everything I'm saying, and I'm going to start to annoy myself. So this has been Intertitle here. I apologize for yelling in all your fucking ears. Go watch Adam on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch Devon on the Twitch. Links are below. You can't follow me on Twitter anymore because I'm banned. Follow the Intertitle here page, I guess. Listen to my music.
Follow the Satohara on Napster or on fucking Apple Music or Spotify or Deezer or These Nuts.
I hear Napster is supposed to be the one that pays the most. I haven't got the payment reports back from Napster yet with the tests yet, so I can't tell you for sure. But allegedly, 8 plays is $1. So I don't see that fucking working at all. Like, that doesn't make sense.
And if you've gotten this far into the podcast, I just want to say thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you ejaculate today.